This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the one other thing, and my friend, yet another milestone.
Yeah, what episode is this?
This is 30. 30 of these things.
Yeah.
So if you're a first-time listener, welcome.
Welcome.
This is the one other thing where we will teach you all about nothing at all, actually.
No, but apparently we can be pretty inflammatory.
Oh, did you get feedback this week? Because I certainly wasn't shy about my opinions.
I didn't get feedback from a person per se, but I was like, you know what? I thought our last episode, I did get some verbal feedback saying, oh, that kind of helped, some people at work said, it was nice to hear that, because
awesome.
they kind of feel the same way. So I'm like, oh, okay, then, you know what? If some people like it, there might be more like-minded people because it was kind of a departure from our normal episodes.
I'm going to say it's a little over half the country.
Yeah. Actually, a little bit more than half the country is on our side. This is true. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go against my rules a little bit, and I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna throw in like $1 a day for a couple weeks just to advertise in Google. So I submitted it, and I got denied.
Oh.
They denied me. They goes, yeah, this is too inflammatory right now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so they shut me down. I can't advertise the previous episode at all.
Okay, well, maybe that's for the best. Who knows?
It would have cost me like $20 to advertise it, and I probably only got like an extra 20, 30 views, but I was like, but that can spread. Yeah. But they're like, no.
Yeah, you're just pouring gasoline on the fire.
No.
Which honestly isn't the intent. I'm not looking to piss anybody off. Ideally, I'd look to, get somebody to actually think through themselves, but that's a tall order, too. So that's pretty funny, though. That's pretty interesting. But anyway.
Yeah, an attempt was made.
we already jump into it. But, welcome to the show. Welcome. This is about what you can expect. But, again, just for anybody who might just be joining us, this show is all about the fact that Kevin and I are friends, and we hang out. And this is, honestly, give or take, this is kind of what we've been doing for long before we started recording it.
Yep.
And we just, we know it can be a lonely life out there. We really do. And, it's... especially now when we're all sequestered for one reason or another. So having friends is sometimes difficult to do. And so that's really the whole gist of this show. So if this is your first time, this is a conversation between a couple friends. And obviously, we welcome the world interacting with us, and we try to acknowledge that. But that's what you can expect. And for those of you that are joining us again, welcome back. Glad to have you here. And we love hearing from you, and hope you've enjoyed everything we've done thus far, and we're going to keep going and keep being inflammatory.
And being inflammatory, apparently, yes. Google doesn't like me right now for some reason, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm sorry, it almost feels like a milestone of sorts, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've finally offended somebody.
Yeah, it's not for nothing. I would have lost money thinking we'd make it to episode 29 before... the internet at large said, yeah, we don't want you here.
Yeah, yes. Please go. Please.
You've said enough.
If I had a penny.
Oh, that is great. That is fantastic. Well, sorry we can't advertise that one, buddy.
Yeah, that's all right. So I was like, we'll see. I mean, maybe word of mouth will, Of course, I did mess up because the titles, there's a discrepancy in the titles now.
I saw that. I wasn't even going to mention it because I'm like, he'll go all neurotic on me.
Well, because you can't, you basically have to delete the episode. Yeah. And re-upload it.
Figured it was going to be like a super convoluted process, and I was like, maybe he won't notice.
Yeah, we'll call it like I said before. This is our our CD plus kind of like enhanced CDs. Yeah. So you're seeing like an unedited version with the wrong title because it was an awesome title, and I forgot.
Well, let's talk about that because I have to admit, most of the times I don't know the title. I would say 85, 90% of the time, I have no idea what the title's going to be, and I look forward to it because you're very witty. And on this particular instance, my wife Mickles was in the other room listening to us, and right at the end of it, I think I'd asked, any ideas, what are you going to name this one? And she yells from the other room, Red, White, and Screwed. Yeah. And that was
I should have wrote it down.
Yeah, and then Kevin did the guilty pleasure or guilty admission later. He's like, I couldn't remember what it was.
I was close, but it wasn't awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to make you do extra work, but you're sucked so much by comparison that I'm like, dude, you gotta change it.
Changing titles is actually easy, except for in videos. But in naming them is actually pretty easy. So it'll take me 5 minutes to fix that.
No, believe me, if Red, White, and Screwed wasn't so good, I would have just let it go. Yeah. But I was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, so the video has a mistake, but I'm not fixing it.
Good. I saw it.
Yeah.
And because I'm halfway through that, I've been trying to catch up. I've had a lot of work on spreadsheets today. It was very good for that. I played us in the background and worked. But I noticed that one, and I said, yep, I'm not mentioning that ever.
Yeah. God. Well, one thing I never told you is that a few episodes ago, you may have noticed that there's an overlay of Toot in the middle of it.
Oh, no, but I did notice that at one of them recently, our screen goes black for a few seconds. You still have all our audio, but we just disappear, and then we come back.
Yeah, that's Google came down, or the ABC company as they're called now, came down on us pretty hard on our Dark Shadows episode. They're like, oh yeah, they're like, this time to this time is copyright infringement.
Oh, because you were playing video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And apparently we played too much, and even though it was in a small window, they didn't care. So
no, it doesn't matter what size the window is. It's the fact that you're playing it.
So I had to go through the episode and just put an overlay of a semi-transparent Toot logo across all of it.
And that's all it takes? So you could still play the same video, you just had to put a watermark on it effectively?
Basically.
Huh.
Yeah, and they didn't copyright strike it. But they may have blanked something, so sometimes they do that too without telling you. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of jerks. So I got to be careful.
It's just tough. We just can't touch anything that's copyrighted.
Yeah.
It's just not worth the hassle.
Yeah. Now I'm having fun with actually Google has a giant library of music you're allowed to play without and still be able to make money off of it.
Isn't anything? Well, actually, yeah, I've noticed in the episodes. Yeah. I'm like, damn, he's really finding a lot. But I mean, that's something I wish to God we could do, but they'd sue the shit right out of us if we actually were playing music that we're talking about.
I think you're allowed because there's a channel that I watch that they do like reaction videos to music.
Yeah.
But you can't make any money off of it. So you have to have a Patreon 100%. That's the only way you can make any money. You can't make any money off the video revenue at all once you start using copyrighted material.
But what the fuck do we care? We can't make any money off our video either because one of us uses every other word to be profanity.
Oh, no. As it turns out, it's not as bad. Sure. I think you can get away with it if it's not in the first, like 5-10 minutes.
What do you mean? Like
swearing in the first 5-10 minutes.
As long as... Have I ever made that?
I think you may have, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm like, hey, everybody, welcome to the one other fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, it's been 7 minutes. We might have got it.
Oh, dude, that's not the first time I cursed this episode.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed.
I doubt I make it that far.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, hi, I'm Sean.
Yes, and I swear all the time.
A lot.
Yes. Do I breathe? Do I swear? Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, no, I don't think it means you can't make revenue. I just think that your revenue is less. Because then you can't have like children's ads and stuff like that.
I have to basically put money in the swear jar. Well, you know what? I'll just do that.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't matter because we still got the 40,000 hours you need of viewing to even start collecting money. So
okay, yeah.
And you need subscribers. A lot more than we have 20 now.
So people actually need to listen to this. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So that's how you make money.
Yeah, so it really doesn't matter. That's why I haven't been stressing about it.
Yeah, nor I.
No. We're currently making $17 a month now, so.
We're almost there. I thought about quitting, but I said, no, I'll stick with it a little while longer.
Not Patreon takes their cut. So.
Not quite there, but.
It's a little bit more than $17, but yeah, it's like 17, like 48 or something.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, Mickles was going to do that. She's like, oh, I'll donate to you guys. I'm like, don't bother.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I'm like,
just hand me a 20.
Yeah, why would you pay the middleman?
Yeah. Just hand it right here. Please.
So, yeah. Good stuff. So,
thank God, too, because then she get voting rights, too. I mean, no.
That's fantastic. You're not allowed.
I listen to music she listens to. No, she can't have voting rights.
She listens to, she's listening to Spa like 90% of the time you come here.
Yeah, I call it suicide radio.
She listens to that when she's driving, and I'm like, oh my God, I'd kill us all.
Right off the road.
Right into a tree. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. There's no way. Oh my God.
Not a chance, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
So what's going on?
So yeah, we're having a show.
Okay.
You might have heard of it.
Yes.
So I mean, typically our shows are really just the "What are you?" section, but I do have a few random things to talk about.
Okay.
And I'll just jump right into I'll jump into a dumb one. Occasionally, I come across what I call a Kevin joke.
I love Kevin jokes.
I know you do, and that's exactly what they are. They're a joke I read, and I'm like, boy, that's stupid and funny, and Kevin will love it. And basically, what I read was about learning an instrument, and it said the hardest instrument to pick up is the piano. And it just made me laugh. And I said, that is entirely a Kevin joke.
That's true. Yes, it's definitely the hardest instrument to pick up.
Absolutely the hardest instrument to pick up.
Yeah. Wow.
So, that's my Kevin joke for you. And
Wow.
I thought of you immediately, and I was like, I want to text him.
Yeah.
And then I said, nope, I will save it for the show.
You might be able to pick it up if you had the right key.
Oh, geez. I actually have a piano moving story because why the fuck not?
Why not?
But it's so goddamn funny. It just so happens this guy's name was Sean too. But I'm helping a friend and move, and they have a piano. And turns out a piano is not something you simply pick up and move. You literally have to hire a piano mover so you don't just ruin the instrument in the process.
Yeah.
And so piano mover's there, and his name's Sean. And I'm out having a smoke talking to this guy. And I'll never forget the conversation. He wouldn't know me from Adam. And honestly, I probably wouldn't know him to see him, but I will never forget our conversation. Because I said, so, Sean, how'd you become a piano mover? And he looked at me, he said, Sean, some of us are just lucky. I'm telling you, I almost pissed my pants. I laughed so hard. Completely dead.
That's awesome.
So I tell people that story because I'm like, God damn, that's good. And I'm telling you, I think of that man frequently because sometimes shit goes down, and I think to myself, some of us are just lucky.
Just lucky. Some guys have all the luck.
Exactly, but you do it in a witty way where you apply it to things that are just completely unfortunate.
Yeah. Some guys are just lucky.
Yeah, so that's when I think it. Like something just extremely unlucky or bad happens, and I think some of us are just lucky.
Just lucky. Yeah.
So that's my piano moving story.
Jeez.
But what about you? You read anything good lately in the news before we get into the "What Are You" section? Because I have a few other things.
The news.
Whatever it is you.
Is anything going on in the news right now?
Subtle, actually, yeah. I mean, we've already offended everybody, so we can't possibly worry about that. But I mean, Jesus,
yes.
I'll be frank. I don't really have much to talk about because it's so devastating. But quite frankly, our democracy is in peril. And I understand Trump's not going to overturn anything and he's going to leave.
Yeah.
But Barr putting the DOJ, opening a case to investigate this,
yes,
should have every American completely outraged.
That's why his guy quit.
And at this point, yeah, exactly. Every American should be outraged. This is, I know Trump loves to throw this word around. It's because he's not smart enough to understand what it means.
Yeah.
But the word treason does, in fact, exist for a reason. And their acts are literally nothing less than treasonous in my eyes. They're destroying our democracy, or at the very least, the only reason they're not is because of their incompetence.
Yeah, they say all their court cases are a joke, and they're starting to come out transcripts of lawyers clearly knowing that they can't lie. Mm-hmm. So they're basically saying, yes, we have this lawsuit, and no, there's no fraud.
Yeah.
But we still want to present this court case to you.
Exactly.
And they're like, but you can't.
And honestly, that should be illegal. Frivolous lawsuits. It should just be illegal. There should be repercussion. But I mean, again, if this was the average citizen, I'd be saying that. It's not.
Yeah. But there is repercussions if the judge says this is going too far. Yeah, the lawyer could lose his license and everything. It could be these lawyers, Trump will get in trouble, but these lawyers will.
Oh, I'm telling you, at this point, I think not only should Barr be disbarred, I think, honestly, I think that we should just not even call him by anything. We should take his first name, too. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's reached the Lowell's Ulrich category in my life. He really has.
It's a shame he didn't die in a tragic bus accident.
I'm not wishing death upon anybody, but seriously, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I was talking about Lars, not Barr.
Oh, yeah, fuck both those guys, yeah.
Fuck both. Yeah, so today I had a few Zoom meetings, and I was cautious about it because I don't want to upset anybody. But this is actually kind of interesting because there's a couple of Trumpers at work.
Oh, yeah.
And I threw my background on my Zoom to be the Four Seasons.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
The back lot, not the hotel. And a few people laughed, but the Trumpers in there, they didn't laugh. But not because they were offended.
Yeah.
They don't know about it. That's not in their news cycle. Well, they don't see any of that.
I read something to the effect of, I want to say it was 82%, but we'll say it's more than 50% of Trump supporters believe Trump may have won.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I just have to emphasize these are not opinions. These,
Yeah.
The difference between facts and alternative facts is called intelligence. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ, I know. It's just...
And yes, I just called half our country fucking morons. I just like to emphasize they're actually dumber than that. I simply lack the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because I too am dumb. But be that as it may.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb.
So I mean, I think we got it out of our system last week as far as the politics go. But honestly, I find it a travesty. Where's the country I once knew?
No, everything I see online now is basically focused on he already knows he lost, and he thinks that this is theatrical show that the 71 million that voted for him deserve to see.
Yeah, well, you know what is really going to offend me?
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, in 2024, when you fuckers give that guy a chance again, I mean, any hope I have is going to be destroyed. Yeah. Because seriously, what is wrong with you people? I don't know how you can have somebody just blatantly screwing you left and right, and you're like, that's my man. He represents me.
Yeah, he's not doing anything good for anybody but himself.
Well, the worst part is these are the people that are like, God bless America. I'm the biggest patriot in the world. I support the man who sells our trade secrets to our adversaries. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, seriously, you think you're God bless America, oh, Captain G.I. Joe USA. Meanwhile, you're supporting this asshole that will sell us all under the bus in a fucking heartbeat. And seriously, if you think otherwise, you have not been paying attention.
Some people are glad that he doesn't always pay attention in the secret briefings because he doesn't pay that much attention to them. So they're glad. Yeah. Because that means he can only sell us out so much.
Well, yeah, agreed. But I mean, again, we're relying on his incompetence. But either way, you've got the leader of the Western world, and half our country is okay with this petulant child, this man-child representing us. And I mean, not for nothing. I don't understand it. How is it? Because the other orange people I met imparted wisdom. They gave me moral lessons to help me grow and become a better person. You know, those Oompa Loompas were very wise, but apparently if they grow too fucking tall, they lose all of them.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And now he wants to declassify more information about Russia, and it will actually reveal names of operatives. Yeah, I'm like, because you're going to hurt people.
No, they won't hurt. They'll die quick. It's poison. Yeah. Russia likes to poison people. Won't hurt at all.
That's true. Well, sometimes the poison, I don't know. Now the poison doesn't seem to work that fast. I've seen some slow ones.
That's my point. You got the person who's like, I am red, white, and blue. I bleed red, white, and blue. Meanwhile, they're supporting this asshole because they think that's American. Yeah. And it's like, he will sell you out and sell all of you out in a heartbeat. He would sell his kids in a heartbeat. Yeah. Man does not care.
No, he'd even date his kids if he could.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, literally, it's just that's who you want representing you in this country? I mean, seriously, if that's the pinnacle of achievement.
Yeah.
I mean...
It just, the part that's been interesting, I wouldn't say funny because nothing's funny about it, but the interesting part is hearing other world leaders and what they have to say. And for the most part, they're like, it'd be like, it's a return to normalcy, a return to the U.S. leading and help. Because basically, the U.S. led and helped other countries, and we're giving, and we, showed them the way. Yes, sometimes we went too far with their police state stuff that, back in the day. But for the most part, countries depend on us.
Oh, we have no moral high ground.
Yeah.
We used to have a moral high ground. Sadly, we used to be great.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm not even kidding. We used to be great. We have lost any moral high ground.
Yeah, I'm worried that if we don't get the runoff in Georgia, which there's a chance we can. There's a woman working there that helped get us all the votes. I forget her name, but she helped us get all the votes in Georgia. She used to be the governor, and they fired her, but now she helped swing the election after they fired her.
Good.
But she's pretty awesome. I've been watching her late night shows. I have to look up her name, but she's been awesome.
All I can think is fucking Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy.
And I'm not going to do the quote justice because I'm not going to have the lyrics right. Yeah. But if that's moving up the line, if that's what it's all about. If that's moving up, then
I'm moving out. Yes, I'm moving out. Yeah. So I'm hopeful. But they also said this election was more It did kick the Republicans a lot in this election. It did show it just the way it happened made it look like it wasn't as divisive. Was it what's the word I'm looking for?
Certainly wasn't a blue wave.
It was a blue wave, but it wasn't the day one blue wave. Is because all the Democrats voted by mail. Mm-hmm. So it was a blue wave. It just came, and I think the Republicans knew that. That's why they were saying this is fraud before we even started, because it's now 5 million votes separate them now,
Yeah.
and it keeps going.
Oh, yeah, but that's just the presidential. I mean, the blue wave was supposed to take over the House and the Senate as well, which it did not.
Well, yeah, that's because we didn't steal those too.
Awesome. That is good.
Yes.
Seriously, I don't think any Trump supporters are listening anymore if they were.
No, because yeah, why would we steal the election and then leave all the Senate seats? We wouldn't let Mitch McConnell back.
Somebody actually made that point. Yeah. Like, not for nothing, if we stole this, like, we'd just crush you. Like, it wouldn't be close.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's just, lame. It's so lame.
Too awesome.
Yeah, I just can't wait to January 20th. And I wish that he would, concede before then. But if he doesn't, the second best case scenario is because Biden already knows how to handle Washington, so he doesn't need the transition plan.
Yeah.
But if he's there and they evict him,
they're not going to though. He's not going to do that. See, that's the. Okay, I'm with you. If we were dealing with an adult, and again, people, if you're running around, well, again, if you're somehow Trumper and you're listening to us, God bless you. Seriously,
I know.
How the fuck?
Yes.
Seriously, that's great. But if you're proud of a president who's basically unwilling to have the dignity to transfer power because he has in fact lost, that's not somebody you should be proud of, and that's not somebody you should take pride in representing you. And if you do, let me just clarify, there's a term for that. They call that douchebaggery, and you, my friend, are a douchebag. Seriously, what is wrong with you? How can that represent your values? And seriously, I'm not kidding about this, and I don't fucking care if I offend people. If that's your values, if I lost and therefore sportsmanship be damned, I don't fucking care if I offend you. In fact, I hope I do, because you are a douchebag. Seriously, that's just, have some decency.
And if you have a problem with anything we say, please send your letters to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
There you go.
Washington, D.C.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. Just to put my money where my mouth is. Kevin.
Yes.
If I'm listening right now and I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yes, you can email us.
How would I do it?
How would you do that? Well, here's our website.
Come on, man. That's the best segue ever.
I know. We're going to get killed. Because okay, let's wait another second for them to change channels.
I don't think. Do you really think anyone's going to chime in?
Yeah. I'm sad that I turned off our Halloween background.
Oh, you did too. Yeah, I didn't even notice. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas soon, I presume?
Yeah, I'll get some backgrounds. I'll probably do a Thanksgiving one. That's coming up.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Cornucopia. That's the only one I don't think it's Thanksgiving, but I don't know. That turkey.
All right, we fucked those indigenous people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. God, our country's so weird. If you really think about it.
We really traditions are odd.
I know.
I do believe in traditions. I think they're important, but they're odd.
Yeah. So if you go to our website, tootcast.net, you'll find many links, especially on the link page. That was before somebody made fun of them for. But anyways, our email address is toot@tootcast.net. Come email us. We have a Patreon page. We have one Patreon member who is already strong-arming us on content. So just bear that in mind. So thank you again, Audrey.
Yes, sincerely. We appreciate it. We do.
Yeah, so feel free to email us, toot@tootcast.net.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
And, honestly, if you disagree with us in totality and you actually have something, you have some intelligent discourse to go with, I would love to be wrong.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. It's just, again, you got to actually use these crazy little things, so I insist upon it. You have to actually stay within the realm of facts and reason.
Yeah.
And
I was told I was wrong once, but that's about it.
It's awesome. I tell people at work constantly,
Yeah.
so everything you see me do right, just know I tried it the other way first.
Yeah.
That's how I learn. I do things wrong, and then I say, okay.
Yeah.
Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide?
I don't know who he is, no. I'm a nerd. Of course I do.
He once said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, a learning instance is anything you walk away from saying, well, I'll never do that again.
That's valid. That's valid.
That's great. So, now that we've good and pissed off everybody.
Yes.
I have two other topics before we get into what are you. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, delayed again.
We don't know yet. 12/10 is, or do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know it's been delayed again, even past the December 10th date, I think.
Oh, it has been. Okay.
Yeah,
so December 10th was kind of like, they were kind of like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
So before Christmas?
It would be nice. I
doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it. I don't know what they're going on. But here's the rub to Cyberpunk. You kind of fucked yourself. In the sense that, don't get me wrong, I already pre-ordered it and I'm going to play the shit out of it, and I still think the game's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm not even in sales, but everyone understands this basic principle, and this is why you completely fucked yourself in your credibility, because you under-promise, you over-deliver.
Yeah.
If I know I'm going to be done on Wednesday with the thing, I know I'm going to have that thing for you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm going to look you dead in the eyes and say, Kevin, I'll have it to you by close of business on Friday. And if I get it to you early, I've never once had somebody pull me aside and be like, Sean, we need to talk.
Yeah.
You told me you'd get that to me on Friday, and you got it to me 2 days earlier, and it's just, it's just not going to do it. Never had that conversation.
I think in the nerd world, that's called the Scotty method, because he always did that. Captain, I can't do it until, And
Scotty, and
he always did it earlier.
Scotty was great, wasn't he? And he always came through, and he was a stand-up dude.
Yeah. I remember, I forget, it was one episode where he's training somebody younger than him, and he's like, you can't say when it's going to be done. You can't. You got to say after that, and then deliver earlier.
Well, because the alternative is, and this is often the case, I say, hey, I know I can have it to you on Wednesday. I'll get it to you on Friday. Yeah. And the minute we hang up that phone call, some other fire starts, and something else that I didn't anticipate happens. And now there's no way in hell I'm getting it done Wednesday, and I'm scrambling just to meet that Friday deadline. Yeah. But at least now I have a chance. Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Exactly.
Sorry.
You're saying there's a chance.
Every time I hear that,
I know. It's too funny. It's too funny. That would be Dumb and Dumber, in case you guys don't know.
Second movie not really worth watching, but the first one was still worth watching.
I didn't watch the second, but the first was... I got to say, it was a horribly bad movie, and it's entirely... You just have to watch it. It's that good. Like, it's not at all good, but yet you're going to find yourself quoting, like... Every time I don't think you can do anything dumber, you turn around and you do something like this. You genius.
Yeah, with a tiny little motorcycle. Like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And, you're saying I have a chance.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a slapstick guy, but the snowball, I almost pissed my pants because I just didn't see it coming when she hits him with a little bit of snow, and he just basically, like, beams her with a snowball.
Yeah, he's, like, taking her out.
I'm not even I'm telling you, I'm not a slapstick guy, but goddamn, unexpected.
Yeah, worth watching.
Check out Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
So Cyberpunk, unfortunately, I'll be the prophet of doom here. I don't think we're getting it before Christmas.
It would be nice. I think they're done with the PC, so I don't know why they're, what contracts they have where they have to release every version for every platform at the same time. I understand why they want to do it.
I might know why. Because apparently Mortal Kombat 11 just released some kind of cross-platform patch for Xbox and PS4. But they kind of said F you guys to the Switch, and they said F you guys to PC. And I don't think anybody gives a shit about Switch, but PC people are like, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't care because I don't play it like that. So I don't really play online with people.
Well, I have some gaming news, too.
What do you got?
They finally, I know there were some rumors, and they finally came out and said, yes, Mass Effect Legendary Edition remaster version's coming out next year, early.
Okay.
Probably
PS5 release then?
They're making the new one, so that's going to come out after the Mass Effect 5.
Oh, no. I was thinking that remaster going to be a PS5 release.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get it on PC anyway.
Yes, it's going to release in every platform, including PS4. They said.
Okay.
But they're going to have some enhancements for PlayStation 5, which for the PC, you already get the enhancements because it's awesome. So, it's going to be all new graphics, better special effects.
There are very
same story,
few
though.
exceptions. I have to say, though, action games. Like, I bought Tony Hawk for the PS4.
Yep.
I could have bought it for the PC.
Yeah.
I didn't want it for the PC. I wanted it for the PS4. I can't explain that.
Yeah.
Car games, the racing games I play, I prefer them on the console versus the PC. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, since Mass Effect was mostly a controller game, I didn't care. I got it on the Xbox 360 first, but then I got it on the PC later.
I might have just answered my question.
What's that question?
I don't cheat at the console games.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because PC games, I just immediately cheat.
Some games
break the shit right out of it.
Some games just scream to be cheated. Mass Effect, you can play the game without cheating. It's not terribly difficult game.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Jesus.
I played it.
So I'm looking forward to it because I've seen some of the screenshots of the graphics, and it's more because you could mod the games now with new skins, and it's going to be way more than that. It's going to be, I don't know if you remember, saw the Dark Souls, like in the remastered version of Dark Souls, it came out the PlayStation 5 that's coming out. It's like totally different game.
Okay.
So it's going to kind of feel like that, where it's the same game, yet just the graphics are just totally modern.
Yeah.
And it needed it, because the first Mass Effect game, it was a great game, but it's rough around the edges. It's old, the very first one.
See, I wonder if you'd ever do what I just did. So,
What?
New Need for Speed is out, which is actually a remastered version of a Hot Pursuit game, but it's going to probably be fucking awesome. I do love that whole franchise for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, that Payback is the worst in the series, in my opinion.
Really? I'll try it.
He is so good.
Yeah.
But I was going to buy it the other day because I realized, oh, wow, that's out. And I freaking guarantee I'm going to love that game. And for the record, I was willing to pay full price. And I was going to buy it, and then I realized, oh, wait, it's freaking November. Christmas is right around the corner. I'm not even bothering.
Yeah, you got to put it in a wish list somewhere for people to get you. Yeah.
Exactly. Would you ever do something like that? Could you ever do something like that, I guess?
Play race car games?
No. Look at a game you actually want to play. Be like, wow, I really want that. Oh, you know what? I'll just wait 2 months.
I don't know if with a game, I don't know. There's some stuff I do want for Christmas that I'll actually reach for my wallet, and I'm like, wait, oh no, it's Christmas. You know, so there is some like DVDs and stuff like that that's coming out of like music stuff.
DVDs,
yeah.
Wow, great.
Well, Blu-ray, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Blu-ray, whatever. Where those spinny discs are,
It's funny. I call them albums still. It's like if it's music, it's an album.
Yeah, all that. Some of those things like Blu-rays and DVDs, it's hard to find streaming. For some reason, music is just not out there in the world. So if you want music, concerts and stuff, you still gotta get them to physical media.
We got rid of a lot. We found out you could donate CDs to movies, so we kind of went through and got rid of our DVD collection and got rid of almost all our CDs as well.
Yeah.
We did keep some, but I mean, we used to have a lot of CDs. And there were some that I was just like, I'm ripping this right now.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't, like, I'm never going to find these again because they're just hard to find. Because, once again, actually, it was almost all Christmas music.
Yeah.
Because I listen to weird shit.
Yeah, I have an early DVD of like the last concert that David Bowie did as Ziggy Stardust.
Okay,
and I've never seen it streamed anywhere ever. I've looked, and so I gotta rip that at some point because I haven't.
Nice.
And I actually enjoyed it, even though it was really grainy, but it sounded awesome.
And now that I think about it, actually, I still have all those Christmas CDs. I just I have an external CD burner, so I suppose I could play it that way. I don't even know how I'd play a CD right now. The old Alienware has a CD player. I don't have a CD player anymore.
You have an external CD drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you plug it into your computer.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, like, that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Better off just ripping it and make a digital version of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even have a mechanism for playing CDs anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to me how
your PlayStation will play it.
Probably will. Yeah. But again, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me how quickly it changes, though, you know?
Yeah.
I remember growing up and CDs being, like, so fucking cool by comparison.
Yeah, because the very first car I got, I had a cassette deck, and it was awesome because it was a Kenwood. I'll never forget this thing. I'm like, this thing is the best thing ever because it can flip without taking the cassette out. I thought it was the best thing ever. Oh. No. On hot days, it would just get to the end of a tape and tension was wrong. It'd be flip, 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 flip.
Oh.
I was like, I hate this thing.
Well, I told you the Queensryche Empire.
Yeah, Queensryche got stuck.
My friend had a car where Queensryche Empire got stuck, and you had the choice between Listen to Nothing or Queensryche Empire, and it turns out Queensryche Empire is slightly better. And I
do like that album, though.
So, I don't care, man. I don't care. Jeff Tate, after a while, in that car would have been like, just fucking turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off.
But
then I remember my upgrade from the Kenwood was I still had the cassette deck, but I don't know, it was probably big. Hopefully we're talking an older crowd that remembers this shit. But I had a cassette that you put in the cassette deck with a wire coming out of it.
Oh, yeah, for
and I had a Sony CD Walkman that had played my CDs on that. So
I had that.
Then I had the
there was
visor.
Technology in between, though. Yeah, I had the visor, too, which was scratching the shit out of all your CDs.
I know.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like pulled out, putting my CD in it, play.
My cassette was... gotta say, I'm gonna go there. My cassette player in my car was better than yours.
Yours probably worked.
Mine did the auto flip.
Yeah.
Mine had something that was the coolest thing in the world, which was the song search button.
Oh, yeah, mine did not have that.
So it was the equivalent of a next button,
Yeah.
And it kind of worked. What it would do is it would skip to the next part where there was no audio.
Silent, yeah.
Which some bands just didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, like Pink Floyd, that would never work because they don't really, like a lot of their albums don't have any breaks between their songs.
Or like some bands like Rage Against the Cheese or some Dead songs used to do it. They'd actually have a moment where there is no sound.
Yeah.
And it's not actually the end of a song. It's just like
break,
a break. And it
Yeah.
would pick that up. So it didn't work perfectly, but it was like a next button before next buttons were a thing.
Yeah. But once CDs came out, though, and that's probably what happened to me, is why I love technology so much, because every time there's advancement, I'm like, this is a quality of life here. These CDs, you don't have to rewind them.
Oh
you
my
know,
God, yeah.
it's
beautiful.
Yeah, they didn't skip. You know, they were awesome.
They did, though, the portable CD Walkman.
Oh, the portable ones, yeah.
I'm not a violent guy, and I'm definitely not a thrower.
Yeah.
You know, throwers that people, like my father was a thrower, just threw shit when he got angry. No, I'm not one of those.
Yeah.
I swear to Christ, man, I was working out in the yard one day with a portable thing, and it just kept skipping and playing the same line over, and that thing almost took flight. And I'm like,
Jesus.
wow, I'm not one of these guys, and that's how angry it made me.
Yeah. I even got on board on a technology before, I guess between cassette and CDs, there was a like mini disc.
Oh,
that was kind of out.
Yeah, you bought those. You would be the guy that buy the mini
Yeah,
disc.
and you can fit like couple albums on one of those things. They're kind of neat. You can edit, and then you can take a cassette deck and you can just say record. It was actually really good about recording music onto it.
Okay.
Just tracks you want. So yeah, I ended up giving that away because I'm like, well, I didn't even use it for very, very long. I used it for like 6 months. I'm like, yeah, there's better stuff now.
That's something we grew up with that I fear might be dead, but the mixtape.
Oh, I made you mixtape once.
You did, yeah. I made you mixtape, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Using a USB mixtape, but it was it said mixtape.
Yep, sharing music.
Yeah. It was Rush, so yeah.
But
sorry, Bill. He doesn't like Rush.
I'm gonna go. No, Mickles hates Rush. I'm okay with Rush.
Yeah, okay, Rush.
But no, I'm not a like woo.
Oh,
I'm definitely not a crazy Rush fan.
I celebrate their entire catalog.
I'll give them solid. They're good.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But it's great. Jethro Tull's in the rock and roll.
Well, I like Jethro Tull.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I could listen to Aqualung. Charlize says she listened to Aqualung. She said she hates it. She's like, I can't stand that song.
His wife wrote it, actually. I find that one weird, but Aqualung might have been okay at one point. I heard it too fucking many times.
Yeah.
Cross-Eyed Mary still has a little merit to it, but no, not a Tull fan. Tull blows.
He does kind of blow that, that
flute.
Yeah.
It's actually just a spin. I think it was Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart
had the headline once. Kenny G blows.
Kenny G blows.
The dude's a talent.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this is possible. He literally found a way to basically sustain a note indefinitely.
Yeah.
On a clarinet.
So breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
At the same time, like that's wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do it with a harmonica. You sound weird.
That's great. It's I hate to admit, Kenny G's Christmas album. I'm sorry, it's pretty mellow. It's not bad at all.
Oh Jesus,
it's really not bad.
Oh,
but yeah, that's about all I know about Kenny G there.
Yeah. So yes, I embrace technology and I always have, and I think it's because of my childhood, and I really was so frustrated with my cassette deck. I thought it was a big pile of garbage, and I had installed at Circuit City. I'll never forget.
Oh, that's great. I actually did mine myself. My father actually helped me. One of the few things he helped me with in life. And boy, one point we had it working. And honestly, it took maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it took an hour after that. And that hour was, we could hear it, but it was so fucking quiet.
Oh.
No matter how much you cranked it, it was just so quiet. And there was this fader option, which I'll be goddamned if I know what the purpose of that is, other than to make it quiet when you have the volume all the way up.
No, fader should be front and back.
No, that's not what it did, basically. It was basically the volume, because once I found that and I turned it up, that was that. I was like, oh, wow, it fucking works. So, yeah, it technically took us 20 minutes to put in and then an hour to figure out how the fucking thing worked.
Yeah, not that I'm a salesperson for this company, but I've since always installed my own stereos, and it's because of a magazine called Crutchfield. Okay. And they what kind of car you have? Okay, this is exactly what you need to do now. So you assemble it all together with a freaking dongle, and then you take your car apart, take the old stereo out, plug this one in, screw it in, you're done. Nice. There's no more wires to hook up anymore. It's all big harness.
I love that.
It's so easy to put a stereo in a car now.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I've done a couple myself.
Well,
since
now it's
then.
got to become complicated again because they're all like nav screens and craziness.
Yeah, like
and,
my car, you can't because you can see my dashboard because I have a Mazda.
Yeah.
It's a screen that's like hanging on top of the dashboard.
Yeah.
So it's not even a regular old-fashioned dual DIN or single DIN stereo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Like,
you
I wouldn't
can't.
even know where to begin.
Yeah, you can't. They're all software. You can't.
This is what old age is all about, my friend. Like,
Yeah.
you just shit you grew up
When
with.
I was a kid,
Yeah, it's just
I
no
could just
longer
replace
applicable.
the stereo.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. And you
Yeah.
wake up one day and you
Yeah.
realize, like, oh, shit, I got why in my day stories.
Yeah, I do. Of course, I love having the the Apple connection to it where it automatically puts all the maps and crap. You don't need navigation in vehicle anymore.
Oh, I use the nav in my vehicle just because it's right there and it's convenient. Although
Yeah.
it does kind of annoy me because it interrupts my songs, and you know how I am about that.
Yeah, no. Now you can just plug them in, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, and it just becomes your phone just becomes your map and your music, and it just
Nice.
you can do split screens
Okay.
and have your map and music. It's kind of cool.
I do the Bluetooth music through my phone to the car, and I love that. So I
Yeah.
can play my 12 songs on Pandora.
Your 12 songs over and over again.
They're
Yeah.
great songs, man.
Yeah. Wait till we get the music part. I think you might be surprised what I've been jamming to.
Oh,
we'll
okay.
get there.
I can't wait. Yeah, and actually, it's funny. I do have. I'll write this down just so I make sure I talk about it, even though I know I've talked about it before. But man, some songs are just so fucking good that I'm like, damn. Anyway, I did want to ask you about. Did you see the smoking Xbox Series X's?
Yeah, fake.
It's all fake, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, Microsoft released a note saying, "Please don't vape into your Xboxes." Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
people are so funny.
You could just tell because the videos were so fucking short.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it made no sense.
yeah.
And
no.
it even looks like a vape.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not what's. I remember because one time I was in my wife's car. She has a Honda, and the car just started like white smoke coming out of the engine. And we pulled over, and everyone's panicking. And I'm like, the car is on fire. I'm like, no, it's not. That is not fire. That is water.
Yeah.
That's the radiator just burst. Because you could tell the difference of what the smoke is.
Yeah.
And we got out, and as it turned out, the radiator rusted underneath and just happened to burst.
Yeah.
And caused all this.
Rage.
Yeah, so you get steam. I'm like, that's not flame smoke. That's steam.
No, you're all on fire.
You're all on fire. You're all gonna die. Yeah. So we survived that.
How long did they scream, we're burning before you finally convinced them, no, it's just steam?
I don't know. I don't remember how long it took, but it took longer than it should have.
I remember, I won't mention names, but I remember somebody was driving around, and you told me a story, and I freaking cried. I laughed so hard because, one, it was, my car is driving really funny. It doesn't seem safe. Why don't you take it out?
Oh, yeah. I think what she said was, I'm not going to drive in the car. It's not safe. It's making a thud every time I hit the brakes. A loud thud.
So, right off the rip, I love the concept of, this vehicle does not seem safe to operate. Why don't you take it?
Yeah, I know. That's true. I didn't think of that, but when I told you the story, I was like, you take it for a drive. It's not safe to drive, though.
Yeah, this does not seem fit for man or beast.
Yeah.
Why don't you take it first?
Yeah, I know.
Kill me.
So I survived the car.
Well, since you know the story I'm talking about, so what
Yeah.
ended up being the problem that you so expertly diagnosed with the vehicle?
My wife never really kept a lot of stuff in her trunk.
Once again, you let the cat out.
Oh,
of the bag.
sorry.
I didn't say
This
who it
woman I
was.
don't know.
Yes.
She's an intelligent woman. She is.
She really is sharp as a whip, man.
But in this case, she didn't keep a lot of stuff in her trunk.
This will be
So
our
it was
last show
empty.
with Kevin.
So so when you have one object in the trunk, in this case, a giant, heavy, I think 30-pound or 40-pound,
I think it was a 40.
yeah, 40 cat litter box. Yeah, so when you slam on the brakes, it's going to slide forward and hit the back of the seat. In fact, my niece was in the car, and she said, I could hear it just hitting like the back of the car so hard.
Oh, that's
So hit the
great.
brakes. And he goes, yeah, it's only when I hit the brakes. It's not every time. If I slowly depress the brakes, it's fine.
That is awesome.
But if I hit a little harder, boom. I'm like, God.
Yep. And that's why you don't keep your dead prostitutes in your trunk.
Yeah, you could hear them bounce around. I mean, you have to put, like, stuff around it, some towels or something so it doesn't roll around. No, this thing was like, it had full clearance to go from one end of the trunk to the other, just slide.
God damn, I love
And
that
just
story.
slam. I was like, oh, God.
Yep. So this is the last show with you on it. So,
Yeah.
so it's been fun, though, buddy. It's been a hell of a ride.
I know.
We made it to 30.
Well, then I have to tell another story that happened yesterday. So sometimes, right now, my wife's birthday's coming up.
She can only kill you once, buddy.
I know she can only kill me, so I might as well tell those stories. My wife's birthday's coming up, So that means I'm going to order some presents for her.
Of course.
And my wife has trouble reading the names on the package who they're to, even though we have a completely different last names.
Oh, I know what you're saying there. Okay, yes.
So she went and grabbed the mail the other day, and one of them was a present for her.
I did not realize that, I guess. Shalisa's not taking your name.
No, would she? I mean, would you? Yeah, she does not have my last name.
You know, it's funny. Yeah. I get a weird bug at my ass about the weirdest things. And it's funny because, I think part of marriage is, you got to kind of take somebody's name. I'll be frank. Yeah. I don't care who takes whose name.
Yeah. I'd rather take hers.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's unorthodox, but somebody taking somebody's name makes kind of sense to me.
Well, when you get married at a certain age, it's not as meaningful in my opinion, because we're both married in our mid-30s, to each other.
When did that ship sail and scuttle?
It scuttled when, my first wife, and I was like, I don't want somebody else there ever having my last name.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So I'm like, never again. So it's a decision I made. I'm like, I'm not going to have any of you floating around. And I'm like, no, because I've seen two people break up and then just keep the name.
I'm the last of this particular branch of the DeLuca line.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. The line stops here.
So that is my gift to all of you.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's ending with me as well, and the branch as well, because neither of my brothers have children, so we might be killing this off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You got sidekicks though. Any of your brothers could come through, and there you go.
Yeah. No.
It's awesome.
I'm kidding. I love you guys. So she grabbed the mail, and she immediately she sets them down on the dining room table, works for a little bit because we work at home, and then she starts tearing them open, and she's like, "Oh, this is not for me." She saw what it was. It was a book, and I'm like, happy birthday. You're getting a book for your birthday that you didn't ask for.
That's fantastic.
Because she asked for some stuff. So this is one of the surprises.
I got you.
So she had no idea what it is. And she goes, well, it's your fault. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you put it in this side of the dining room table, and that's where I put my mail. And I'm like, I didn't get the mail. You got the mail. She's like, oh.
It's fantastic. It's still your fault.
Still my fault.
We're just going to have to reevaluate why.
Yeah. And another package came in today. So that was yesterday. Another package came in today, and it was also for me. And I'm like, just put it on my side of the table, because I know if you put it on this side of the table, you might accidentally open it.
That's right.
Even though it wasn't a present that time.
Fantastic.
So I tease the hell out of her. But she gives me a bird a lot, which is weird in a marriage. She's like flicking me off.
Is that weird?
I don't know.
I get the bird a lot.
She gets me a bird all the time.
I don't think that's as weird as you think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Mickles is no stranger to giving me the bird.
Yeah, she flicks me off. Yeah, I love her to death, but man, sometimes she can be so crazy.
That's all of them, buddy.
Yeah.
But, it's all of them.
Yeah, no. She said she realized as she's blaming me that she's like, oh yeah, and she knew. But she believes in a good defense is a great offense, or whatever. A good offense is a great defense. Something
I like that. I blame you for shit that has absolutely no bearing with you
Yeah.
whatsoever, but I'll just declare that I blame you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, I get blamed all the time.
You do.
God. I thought winning that poker trophy would bring me luck.
That's fantastic, yes. Yeah, you've been doing a fairly good job, though. I was remiss on mocking you about it for a while.
Yeah.
And you've been holding the torch
because I
fairly well.
know it's not going to last.
You got to live it up, brother.
Statistics show that Sean is better at poker than I am.
Well, it doesn't matter. You got it. You're the winner right now, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta milk that for all it's
milk
worth.
it. I got the poker trophy.
You well earned too, buddy.
Yes, and I came out with more money than I started, which is funny because Charlie's made a point.
Well, your story about the not looking and opening mail is hysterical because that literally just happened a couple months back.
Yeah.
I had bought when was this? Must have been July. I had bought Mickles a shirt because I found out such a thing existed, and I said, holy shit, I'm buying this for Mickles for Christmas, even though it's July, I don't even care.
Oh, yeah.
And it was basically anybody familiar with the Dead and the Dead Bears, like the Walking Bears, found one that was Care Bears.
Oh.
And it said Grateful Dead. And they were doing the Grateful Dead bear walk, and I'm like, oh my God, if that's not Mickles, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And
that sounds cute.
Same story. She opened it up, took one look at it, and immediately was like, oh my God, I wasn't supposed to open this, and I didn't look.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, one, I wasn't upset at all, and the real reason is, and I told her as much, the odds of me making it till Christmas without giving that to her were pretty much none.
Yeah.
So she opened it probably a few days before I would have been like, hey, you know what? I bought you a Christmas present, but that's too far away, and I want you to have this.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big a deal.
Well, I told her she put too much pressure on me now because the one present that she asked for, and then I got 2 other presents she didn't ask for.
Yeah.
So now she knows what the other present is. So there's one left, and I'm like, God, that better be a good present because that's the only surprise you're getting.
Oh, that's great. Well, see, Mickles is cool about it because, I've already done some Christmas shopping for her.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you what it is. Literally, no idea. Because she'll find like sales on handbags or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes she knows where I hide the Christmas presents basically for her.
Yeah.
So she'll literally put stuff there.
Oh, I gotta get that deal.
And so so sometimes she'll just come home and say, hey, you started your Christmas shopping and you're very generous. Thank you.
Yeah, you're really good to me this year.
So don't get me wrong, I do. Actually, I feel bad because we're Amazon list people. It's just easier for the family.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so happy to get that Switch. I'm not even kidding. One of the greatest things about the Switch, and I didn't know I was going to buy a PS4 shortly after, was having a game system because then I can just go and add games like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, good, now people have something they can buy me that I'll, sooner or later I'll definitely fuck with it,
Yeah.
But I have trouble making a list because I don't really want anything.
Yeah.
But when I do my Christmas shopping, I pretty much go to Amazon. I might go to a few other sites, but primarily I go to her list. And it's just like add to cart, add to cart. Okay, that's a really big number. Let me remove a few things. Okay, that's not so bad. I can choke that one down. Bye.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Except when you ever pay the bad husband tax? I paid it not last year, year before. That's when you wait way too long and you end up paying a shit ton in shipping.
Yeah, you
hit
just like overnight for $50.
Yep, you're like bad husband tax.
I have done that before. Yes, I have to admit that.
Been there.
It reminds me. You know what? I just saw you must have Amazon Prime. So
Absolutely.
apparently, they have a game library that you get for free.
I know. I've tried to get into it to make it work. If you can figure it out, you let me know.
I'll take a look at that.
I have too, and I ended up in this like loop where it's like, hey, all you need to do is be a Prime member. And I'm like, I'm a Prime member. They're like, great, enter your information. So I do, and they're like, great, all you got to do is be a Prime member.
I was like, oh.
And I'm like, but what?
But okay, yeah, I just saw it the other day, and I'm like, oh, these games look like they're just free games, and they might be like a Epic. Yeah. So I was like, hey, let me give it a go.
I was looking at my Epic library the other day. I'm not kidding, man. It's just, seriously, everybody, go, if you play video games on the PC, go sign up for an Epic account, keep the little icon on your desk, and just check it once a week. Because one day you'll look, and I seriously think I have over 100 games. Yeah,
I think when I booted my laptop just now, it said some text dungeon crawler. Okay. That came up today. You got to check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Oh, yeah, I think it's Thursdays.
I think it's Thursday, so it's every time I turn it on here. Yep. So I just bought a game tonight. So
I'll
for free.
check it out. Yep, but that's it. I mean, out of those hundreds, I think you bought me Outer World through Epic.
Yeah, I used Epic because at the time that's the only place that had it.
But other than that, I don't think on Epic. I don't think I bought a single game.
No, I think that's the only game I actually purchased there as well. I did buy a couple games on GOG today, but they were $1.50 a piece. So.
Nice, good for you. What'd you buy?
Desperado 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Have you played them? I have not.
I saw it online. They look kind of like a strategy top-down view. I'm like, yeah, I can go for that. But I really want Desperado 3, but I'm not paying $40 or whatever it is. It still is. I'm like, no, not yet. That's one I really want because it's newer.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll get the first 2 for $3. It's $3 it cost me for the 2.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's today. So I don't know if you get the coupons on GOG. Because I get coupons that say if you put this code in today, you get a deal. So it's just today.
Those actually, but I'm not too worried about it. It's don't get me wrong. I'd pay the $3. Hell, I'd pay $5 for the 2 Desperados. I'm not going to play them anytime soon.
Yeah. Sometimes I get more situations where I need a mindless game that doesn't require concentration.
Absolutely.
And the TV's occupied, so I can't multitask.
Yeah.
So I just want something simple to play. So I can see myself playing those more often.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's why that zombie Dead Effect game was great.
Yeah.
Because it's basically point and shoot, and there's no story to worry about. I'm sure there's a story. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. And to your point, there's no puzzles. There's no nothing. It's
no
just
thinking.
Run around and shoot things.
Yes.
It's somewhat relaxing though.
Yeah.
So without further ado, then what the hell? Let's jump into it. So what have you been playing, buddy?
Actually, not much. It's still a busy week of news, but I did play one day. I went back. Like I said, I went back into Fallout 4 VR.
Yeah.
And the game is freaking addictive. It's so silly. It's like I don't like Minecraft, but I like.
Have you played Minecraft?
Yeah, I have played Minecraft
I've never
way
actually
back when it
played
first came out. It's just.
It's like Legos, right?
Yeah, it's basically
like 8-bit Legos.
Yeah, basically. But so I like Fallout. And I like the world. So I've been playing the game. I haven't played any missions. I'm building forts.
Yeah.
So last time I played, 2 weeks ago when I played it, I built up the a couple of the smaller places like the rocket gas station.
Who's your sidekick?
Who's my sidekick? Nobody. I don't like sidekicks.
You didn't keep the dog with you?
You
You know why I wouldn't use the dog?
Yeah.
Because it would upset me too much when people hurt it.
Yeah. Well, if you raise his level, you can make it so he doesn't get hurt. But no, I don't like I don't like hearing whine. You know, when he gets hit.
I couldn't deal. Yep.
Yeah. So I generally don't do sidekicks unless I'm doing a mission that requires them.
Okay.
You know, like the Brotherhood or Steel or something.
Yep.
So I made him a nice little. So my castle is always my main place.
Yep.
So then I have a little place for a doghouse for him to hang out in. So
nice.
he's always hanging out there. I decked it out. So I went
awesome.
all out because I modded it this time, so I didn't have to fix the walls.
Yep.
You can focus on just building it all out. So I got rooms.
Well,
you can put your names on lights.
Yeah, I've seen the way you mod.
Yeah.
Well, the way you mod anything is insane. But I've seen your Fallout mods where you have all sorts of crazy shit you never would normally.
Yeah.
And some of it's so subtle, but it makes such a world of difference. Like you have those, I want to say they look like vending machines, but they're basically these nuclear reactors that provide more than enough power for everything you would ever need, and they take up no room whatsoever.
I throw one in there, and I'm done, and my guns don't need power, so I'm putting all the fans and lights. So I have fun putting all the lights up. So I like to play till it gets dark out, then I light up the place.
Oh, that's
and it looks just so cool, especially in VR.
Oh,
it looks really cool. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been decking out my castle. I think I'm pretty much done with it now.
You know that's a good game when you can fuck off for hours. Like I'm thinking of Grand Theft Auto specifically right now, where you can fuck off for hours and never actually do a single thing you're actually supposed to.
Yeah, no, I already know where my son is. I played this game 50 times. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah,
he can keep running the institute. I don't care. Spoiler. So I don't even care.
Yep.
But now I'm looking forward to is I deck this castle out so well, and I put like traps so if people come attack me, because at some point the institute attacks you.
Oh yeah.
So I have it. So because I know they teleport inside the place. So I have guns facing into the courtyard too.
Yep.
So, but I have trap points and I have emergency switch. If I flip one switch, all the doors lock immediately and close and lock.
Yep.
So you have to teleport in. You can't walk into my fort.
Yep.
So, and then I got
great.
laser cannons coming at them and choke points. So yeah, no one's attacking my
No
castle.
one's gonna. Yeah. It's not gonna end well for them.
Yeah, it's not gonna end well.
Pretty funny.
I know it's so lame, but it's so much fun building the stuff and just laying the blocks down. It's like modern Legos, really.
No, I know what you're saying. No, and you take a weird sense of pride.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I talked about this last show, but I always get a cord of wood because we have a fireplace.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me tell you, and anybody who is toying with the notion for whatever reason of having a real wood fireplace, it is a royal pain in the ass. You are constantly lugging wood, constantly cleaning the thing. It's just a pain right in the ass. That being said, would not trade it for anything. Entirely well worth the investment. And it's not so much a heating thing. Keep that in mind. If you want to get warm from your fire, you got to commit. You got to keep that shit going all day for the most part.
Yeah.
It's more of an aesthetic thing most of the time.
Yeah.
But that being said, we got a cord of wood, and I realized very quickly we were burning through it. We were going through it much faster than we have in previous years, and I realized why. The major form of entertainment in the year 2020 is, well, being at home.
Oh. Yeah.
Where the fuck are we going? And when it starts getting colder, what do? Well, we're sitting here anyway. Might as well build a fire.
Yeah.
So I got another cord of wood, and you saw some of that thing.
Yeah.
The dude. I got a lot of wood this time.
Yeah.
Way more than
huge.
a cord, and it was like giant wood. It made me feel like Jack because some of those pieces were ginormous. But that's a weird guy thing that I have. Because basically what I do is I pay somebody a lot of money to drop wood at the end of my driveway. And then, because boy, I used to pay $200 a cord. It was literally $420 plus tax. And that's just
$420.
That's the going rate. Yeah, exactly. There you go, kids.
420.
$420, kids.
You just said $420.
And that's just what's happened over the years. So it's just cost a lot more than it used to. But I take that. I carry it, 40 feet into the shed?
Into the shed, yeah. The sea shed.
Then the weirdest thing happens. Then I literally just stack it. And then you get this weird sense of pride. Like I find myself sometimes when I go and smoke, I stare at my wood pile.
Yeah.
And I can't explain it, but you get this weird sense of pride when you look at you like, I stacked that wood. I did that. And I can't explain it, and I know it's a guy thing because I've seen other dudes do it. We're like, that's my wood pile. But yeah, anybody right now, somebody is listening right now, if they have a wood pile, they're entirely laughing their ass off because they're like, yeah, I entirely stare at my wood pile. And it's just a weird fucking thing, and I'm entirely guilty of it. So if you're one
I
of
selfied
those,
myself in front of it.
you did. That's the old shed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You probably can't see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Probably can't see it out
But
here.
yeah, there's something. There's
I was
something.
like, I'm a man.
I mean, I
Stand in front
find
of the wood.
Yeah, I find it funny because I find myself staring with pride at this wood that I didn't cut it.
Yeah.
I just moved it.
I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad.
There you go. Nice.
So,
Hey, I'm impressed. Yeah, that would be the Mad World, and it's funny too because that one I know you're not thinking Tears for Fears because no one ever is. They're thinking the dude who does the Melancholy remake. That's just better.
It is better, but I can listen to the original. It has merit.
I don't know if we've ever talked about Tears for Fears. Seriously, underappreciated band. That dude is amazing, and then there's that other guy.
Yeah, the other guy, yeah.
I don't know either of their names.
Actually, the lead singer, he was just on the other day on YouTube with his daughter, and they're playing Mad World together.
Oh,
so
I
it was
think
kind of
that
cute.
guy's an amazing talent. I really do. Some of his solo stuff I even listen to, and I really think he's talented.
Yeah. But his daughter was singing, so it was actually kind of cool. Or maybe they're singing together, but it was kind of cool. They're playing acoustic, so it's worth watching if you want to check out COVID, them sitting around in their basement playing music still. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Well, that is the thing.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool with this COVID. You've seen a lot of musicians, they have nothing to do, so they just sit in their basement with their family playing their hits.
Somehow that statement was just wrong.
What?
It's kind of cool with this COVID.
It's kind of cool. No, I mean, but it's got some nice videos.
I understand the sentiment you're going for.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's his name from CCR?
John Fogerty.
John Fogerty, yeah, he has a whole thing he does with his family in his basement or whatever. It's probably not his basement, but but he plays all of his classics with his family.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this COVID thing is kind of fun sometimes.
Actually, it has
silver lining, I guess.
There are a lot of silver linings. So families are more together than they've ever been before.
Yeah, in my case, more separated.
Well, like I said, there's perks for everybody.
Yes. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, I mean, it is tough, and like holidays this year are going to be weird for everybody.
Well, didn't you say Cuomo says no more than 10 people in a house?
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a good rule.
I said that to my in-laws yesterday because I went to their house yesterday. I'm like, I've been living that rule for a long time already.
Oh, that's great.
I like it.
Thanksgiving, it'll be great if you show up and you're like, oh, I'm number 11.
Yeah, sorry, got to go. And they counted. I think there's gonna be 9 people at the Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. I love it.
They counted,
yeah.
That's great. I'm not so certain anyone's going to be enforcing that one. I think it's more of a guideline.
Yeah, but I'll tell.
I mean, yeah, if you're... Not for nothing, your in-laws would.
Yeah.
I'm just calling because I clearly counted 12 people going into my neighbor's house for Thanksgiving.
I know. I can see people do that.
I can see very specific people doing that.
No. Yeah. Sometimes you've been noted in our neighborhood that put out your trash too early.
Too early.
Yes.
I know, seriously.
It's in my brain now because I was driving down the street, my street, and my trash night's tonight. So I was driving. I think I was going to my in-laws' house. Yeah, it was yesterday, and so somebody had I forget what it was. It was like broken bicycle equipment, whatever, for trash. And I thought to myself, because it's in my brain now, that's out too early.
This is how it happens.
Yeah, I'm like, that's out too early. That's breaking along.
Yeah, fast forward 20 years, you call somebody, I swear I'm kicking you in the nuts. I'm kicking you in the nuts when you call somebody because they brought their garbage can to the curb too early.
You're not supposed to do it till 7 p.m.
Oh, my God. Seriously.
It's actually written. It's actually, you can't get fined.
I understand if you're looking at this world that we live in and you're saying, clearly the problem is my neighbor brought his garbage can out 4 hours early. You were not paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I actually appreciate my neighbors across the street brought out their garbage early because it was the naked mannequins they had out there.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That was weird.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't make it to the trash man.
But yeah, that's, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
I'm trying to fight the power.
Other than VR, we were actually talking about what are you playing? Playing anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I've told you I was playing the Evil Within there, and I haven't even gone back to that, and I can't even help it. I'm hooked to Need for Speed Heat. I really am. I just keep playing that one. I've crushed that game. That's the one I platinumed, and now I just keep racing, making money, and buying new cars. And I try a new car for a little while, and then I say, okay, I like my old one better. Switch back and get more money and buy a new car. And somehow it's enjoyable.
Yeah, if I have time this weekend, which I don't know if I will or not, I think I might try to go back to Metro Exodus, try to finish that one. Because I know damn well if I don't go back to it, I'll have to start over.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I gotta
the
get
thing.
back
You're
to
right.
it.
I have a clock going for the Evil Within. That
because you have to start over if it's like 6 months.
I've made it farther than I ever have before, but and I think I looked it up too, how many chapters it was. I think it's like 14 chapters, and I think I'm on 9.
And usually in my, from what I remember, the last 2 chapters or 3 go quick because it's like the story just picks up pace because it's ending. You're like, do this and you're done, kind of thing. It's
almost just become a puzzle game at this point. Yeah. It's just run from each spot to the next to try and figure out when the hell it is I'm trying to tell you.
Did the twist happen yet in your playthrough?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten there yet.
You would know.
I'm still chasing the little kid around. Okay. And the they do have some fucked up things. I don't know if it's I died once, and I don't really know why. Well, I know why, but
cheat failed him.
No, actually, as it turns out, cheating in that game, there are times where it definitely is the only thing keeping me alive. Yeah. Most of the times you die, though, cheating doesn't do anything for you.
There can be instant death.
Yeah, things are just insta kills. So the dude in the hoodie, who I presume is the crazy kid, actually, but for some reason he's all godlike and he teleports and kills things. Yeah. He showed up and killed me. And I don't know if it's because all I can think is it was because I was taking too long, dicking around. And you would have pissed your pants.
Probably.
Wherever I was, there were basically 2 levels. And there were 2 staircases. And it took me a while to figure out where the hell it is I had to go. Yeah. And so he would appear. And I learned very quickly that I'm like, because I'm an idiot, I'm like, oh, he's there. I wonder if I can touch him. So I ran up to him.
You
entirely killed me. Yeah.
Oh.
I entirely ran up.
Yes.
So you would have been rolling at that point.
Yeah.
But then I still hadn't figured out where I needed to go. And then I saw him appear. So I'm like, fuck. So I run downstairs. And I'm like, fuck, now he's following me. So what I do is I just run up the other staircase. And, like, it was one of those, like, we were playing pickle.
It's like, what?
Yeah. And if I did that long enough, he just got annoyed and disappeared. Although he would fuck with me, and sometimes he'd teleport like to the top of my staircase. Yeah. And as long as I was paying attention and running the other way, it was fine. And eventually he just lost interest and went away. Yeah, like, okay, this guy's too stupid. I'll come back and kill him later.
Yeah, much later. Yeah.
But if you walked in and found me playing pickle with this undead teleporting guy, you would have pissed your pants.
I would have. And those games make me jump when they do that teleport thing right next to you. You're like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. So, I was running. But,
which way you going? Which way?
So stupid. And I was thinking of you the whole time because I was just like, oh, Kevin would be in hysterics right now.
It's like, Jesus. Oh, so, that's why we got to start broadcasting games. I think it'd be funny as hell.
Oh, you would have been crying. You would have laughed. Yeah. Like, what an idiot.
What are you doing?
It's like me heading next to the garbage can.
Yeah, I know. Like, you're right there. I can see pretty much your whole entire body.
I'm looking right at you.
Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
Oh, goddamn. But it worked.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get me.
No.
I was stupid Jim.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. He's like, wow, that guy's such a moron. I'm just going to come back later.
Well, you're probably one more chapter from seeing, kind of like the game, kind of like, because you don't have to wait to the very ending for the game to say, oh, this is what's going on.
Okay, so I got to be getting close. Yeah. I mean,
I bet you next chapter.
I can. And don't tell me anything, but
no, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Obviously, the crazy kid's the center of everything, and I presume he's the dude in the hoodie, too. I just don't know why, but we'll get there.
I have to be completely honest with you. I don't remember everything about the game.
Oh, and your protagonist, I presume he killed his family? At least he killed his partner. I know that much.
I forget.
Okay, yeah.
I absolutely forget. I can't leak anything, so I don't know anything about the kid, the monster. I totally forget. Because that's not the twist. Yeah. Okay, I remember the twist, but I remember the little things like that. Okay. Because I haven't played. It's like 2 years or something like that.
Well, I presume the twist at some point too is going to be you're going to realize that you're the dude that killed your partner and did all this crazy shit. But we'll get there.
Yeah, I remember liking the twist.
I don't think the protagonist is a good guy. I'll say it that way.
Same protagonist in the second game.
Yeah.
And the second game was way more like wow. It was like I said. I I think the first game was better because it was scarier, but the second game is still worth playing because it was a better game.
Yeah, it's almost like multiple games, to be honest with you, because that first chapter is like its own unique piece of art.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the rest of the game's good.
Yeah.
But it's not. It is not of the same caliber as that first chapter. It's not even close.
It's not even close. Yeah, in the second game, there is a untouchable person there as well that chases you.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing as the first game.
So, yeah, well, you can touch him.
You can touch him. Yeah, it doesn't end well.
But yeah, I love that too about me, that I'm the idiot that in these monster games, the monster appears and like any sane person runs the other way. And I'm like, I wonder if I can touch him.
Yeah. Well, some games know that you're going to do things like that and give you achievements for it.
That's awesome.
Because Portal 2, which is a great game, is one of my top 10 games, is there's a scene where you get captured, and you know if you stand there, these big claw things are going to crush you. Yeah. So you jump out of the way, and you keep going. He goes, "Hey, come back!" And if you do, he'll keep talking. He goes, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to come back." He actually says that. Right. And he goes, "Just jump down there. Your family's, your mom's down there.
Oh, that's great.
Go ahead, do it." And he would just incessantly just go on for like 20 minutes with something new to say about why you should jump down there. Yeah. And you should, because you get an achievement when you do.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I like games that like appreciate when you like, oh yeah, I'm going to die here, and I know I'm going to die here, but I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. That's something I particularly, my favorite part about the Stanley Parable was the path of following the instructions was the absolute last thing I tried.
Yeah, I know.
I literally broke the rules every chance
I think the game ends pretty quickly when you follow the instructions, because it's like the last thing the game technically wants you to do, but they they want you to break all the rules.
I thought that was funny about that. I prided myself on that. I'm like, well, I just do not follow directions.
Yeah, no. The first time you go through the wrong door, that's where the game I think was at its best. Is the first time you go out the wrong door and you're like, I said the left door.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? I'm like, well, this is kind of cute. You can't play it like more than once, but I mean, you could play like all the bunch of endings in one sitting, but then after that, it's more of a one-time kind of thing.
I'm working on my achievement. They have an achievement for not playing the Stanley Parable for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
I wonder I should look at seeing last time I played it, because I had it like years before you got it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious.
So you get that achievement long before I will.
Yeah, I know.
That's great. Awesome. But yeah, I haven't been playing anything other than that Need for Speed, really. I haven't been playing a lot, so there's that. And we've been watching something which, well, without further ado, why don't we get into that?
Yeah.
What are you watching, buddy?
Okay, so as you heard before, I'm now into the second season of Penny Dreadful. Yep. I don't think it's as good as the first season.
Okay, we haven't watched that either.
So. But the first season was great.
Yep.
The second season is not as good. I'm not saying it's bad.
Wait, I'm sorry, second season.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the spinoff episode. I thought you said you saw the Penny Dreadful.
We saw Penny Dreadful. We didn't see
the Angel one, the second show.
The second season, second show of it
with Natalie Dormer as the main chick.
Yeah, we did not see that.
I haven't seen that either. So
it's Natalie Dormer. I actually know her name. That's the
she's in
Game of Thrones, right?
Game of Thrones and Tudors. She was Anne Boleyn.
Okay, yeah. I like that chick because she actually does some good shit, and I think she's a good person in real life.
Yeah, she seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig that.
And I mean, she got her head cut off, and I was sad. But
it happens.
It happens. So the Penny Dreadful is the second season, because the first season had the Werewolf and Frankenstein. The second season is good, but it's not as good as the first season, because the main actress is kind of just, I don't know. I'm done with the whole demon-possessed body thing.
She's an odd woman, though.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Do you find her attractive? Because I kind of did in an odd way.
Yeah,
she's oddly attractive.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, like, I don't know.
At an angle.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah, at a certain angle, she really kind of shines.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So then, I don't know what it is, but I randomly decided to watch another show. I have no idea. But it's a true story. At least that's what it says when you start it. It takes place in Minnesota, but it's based on a movie that also was considered a true story, and all the names been changed to protect the innocent, kind of thing. Fargo. Okay. Fargo, the TV series. Billy Bob Thornton. It's got.
And this is what you thought Mickles and I may have watched.
You may have watched, because it seems like the kind of thing you'd watch. And it's got Bilbo Baggins or Watson as the second main character, playing kind of like the Weasley guy.
Okay. Yep.
But they're not like redoing the movie Fargo. This is actually one town over. Okay. So it's well written. It is well written. Okay. I was like, this is so cool.
Well,
the first episodes.
Somebody's liking it,
4 seasons. It's actually well regarded. and it's still the Coen brothers who's producing
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So it has that Coen brothers feel to it, where like that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I have
dark
to
humor
admit,
funny.
I am not smart enough for movies
Yeah.
like Fargo. I had to watch Fargo like 5 times before I'm like, okay, this is genius.
Oh, the movie was genius. But
It
yeah, you're
was.
right.
It's
It
just
took me
I'm not that smart.
It took me 2 watches, but this isn't as
Yeah, I don't know if I watched it 5 times.
Yeah.
It just took a little while to sink in.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this TV series will take that many. It won't take like 2 watches to say this is great, because I think the Coen brothers they weren't so like I don't know. You really had to read into a lot of dialogue to figure out the genius of Fargo.
Yeah.
This one, the dark.
What is that, Frances McDormand?
Yeah, Frances McDormand.
Freaking love
Yeah,
her. And of
I
course,
love the way they talk.
Frank was in that.
Yeah, Frank was in it.
I know his name too. I just can't think of it right this second. God damn.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But anyway, yeah, that guy's good.
He's awesome. But
William H. Macy.
William H.
Boom.
Macy. Boom. That's it. So I highly recommend. I know I shouldn't say I recommend it, but I know what you like, and you would like the show.
You think I'd like the show? No,
You
I
would
hear
like
you.
the show. It's not. This is not Babylon 5 saying, I love the show with all my heart. You're gonna crush it because you hate it. This is like, no, this is a good show, well written, and Billy Bob. I celebrate him. He's a good actor.
Oh yeah, Billy Bob. Mm-hmm.
So he plays a hitman
Did I
in
ever
this.
tell you that story?
What?
When we finally went to go see Sling Blade.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Howard Stern constantly, and honestly, I still would, except it's just not conducive to my schedule.
Yeah.
And Stern had been playing that clip for months before I saw the movie.
Oh God.
And so we go and see Sling Blade, and I'm fucking dying. I am laughing my ass off. And that movie is just, Billy Bob did a phenomenal job.
Did. You
And
can't even tell it's him, really. But
just utterly
yeah.
tragic.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I quote that movie to this day, and I always will. Funny, huh?
Yeah. Funny, huh?
It was because John Ritter was funny in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But it was a phenomenal movie. If you have not seen Sling Blade, you really should check it out. And Billy Bob, holy shit, did you do a good job there? But it's fucking tragic, dude.
Yeah, and I read a little bit about the Fargo, and they said Billy Bob knew what they were trying to do. Day one, he even had the right haircut. He was like, this guy is what we wanted. And Colin Hanks is one of the stars, which I already know him from Dexter. Besides this, because he played a murderer in Dexter. I haven't seen Colin Hanks too much.
I saw him in Orange County, I believe it was.
Oh,
movie, but I don't recall it other than being like, "Yep, you're Tom Hanks' son, all right."
Yeah, he plays like a kind of wimpy cop in this, but I like him. I think he's very charming. But
he's a Hanks. What's not?
Yeah, he's a Hanks.
Jesus.
He has the Hanks charm.
Like seriously, if you're walking around thinking, "Boy, that Tom Hanks, what a douchebag," seriously, you got to reevaluate your life choices.
As it turns out, there's one person that was a douchebag. It was the Fonz.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. Yeah, they've had a feud for like 30 years.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, apparently he blamed him for being fired from Turner and Hooch. Henry Winkler. And Charlie said we discussed this, and like, I like Henry Winkler, but it's his fault.
I got nothing. Like, really? That's what you're upset about, Fonzie?
Yeah.
I thought you were cool.
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, they've had a feud for with Tom Hanks. I'm like, who gets in a feud with Tom Hanks? No one's gonna take your side.
Dude, I've seen American Christmas Carol. I'd watch where I'm throwing those stones, Fonzie. That's all I gotta say. Watch where I'm throwing.
Oh, the Fonz, yeah.
But seriously, Turner and Hooch, like one that is kind of Tom Hanks carried that movie that would not have.
Well, I think it was the director. He was gonna be the director of the movie. He got fired.
Oh, okay.
So, and he blamed Tom Hanks, and nobody took his side. Apparently, what's his name? Ron Howard didn't take a side either because he keeps doing Hanks movies.
Yep. Whatever, man.
Henry Winkler, you're alone in this.
Seriously, though, I think all your credibility goes out the window when you make the argument. I'm pissed about Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, I know. I would say that him complaining about that made him jump the shark.
Yeah, right. Seriously, right? Exactly. You
he jumped his own shark.
You bring up the best point ever.
Yeah. What? He jumped his own shark?
You are literally why we had the phrase jump the shark.
No, literally.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
So be careful about the stones we throw.
Yeah, because we're just saying that Fonz jumped a shark with Turner and Hooch.
I read this in a book, and I laughed out loud, which I always love because it happens so rarely that I actually get literature to make me laugh out loud. But said people in glass houses should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I like that. Wait, but I thought that
And I'm like, yeah, they should.
Yeah, they should just.
That's That's great.
So I do think you should watch Fargo because it's
okay.
one. It's not like slow paced. There can be times where it's slow paced, but I like that about it. Who doesn't want to watch a show that takes place in the middle of a tundra?
Yeah. Well, we like
with people killing each other.
It's going to be great. For those I haven't offended yet.
Yeah.
We like shows with people being weird, doing weird things.
Yeah.
And that's not to say it in a disparaging way, to be clear, where, like, when I look at somebody, I'm like, wow, you're weird as fuck.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily an insult.
Yeah.
That just means you were definitely dancing to your own drummer. Doesn't mean I understand it. But at some level, I do respect it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like Twin Peaks, a little ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably in between Twin Peaks and Justified. Because Justified, I thought, was pretty straightforward of a show. They had good characters, but it was pretty much straightforward. Yeah. Fargo is not that. But it's not Twin Peaks.
You know,
it's
loved
in between.
Justified, the mother of the hillbilly family.
Oh, the one that because they didn't introduce her season 3 or something like that.
It's 2 or 3, but she sings a song in one of those.
Yeah, at the end.
It's fucking so good. I'm not even being funny. It's so good.
Yeah, I remember her. That was a good show.
It was good, really good show. Yeah, have we talked about that before? But if we haven't, I think we did last one because we went on a little praise to Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, Olyphant, because he was in the new Star Wars Mandalorian, and he's going to be more in the show more often.
Okay.
So, and I like him. I think he plays the sheriff of this freaking desert planet.
First movie I saw him in was Go, and I remember it because he played he didn't even have a lead role. I wouldn't call it a lead role, and walked away from that movie saying, "Boy, that dude was great." Yeah. And again, doesn't act worth a shit. Plays a shit out of Timothy Olyphant, and love him.
Yeah, that's why I called it Justified version of Mandalorian, because I'm like, it's the same character. He's playing the exact same character in this space movie, space TV show.
Long story short, though, if you haven't watched Justified, seriously, it's great. Yeah. And Boyd Crowder, I can't remember that dude's name, but that guy is phenomenal. Yeah. That guy's an actor.
Yes.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah, he is. Especially when he plays a TV show afterwards, where he's playing like a widower.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
The unicorn. It was called the unicorn.
I think it's the 5-head thing you told me about.
Yeah, 5-head. Yeah, you don't have a 4-head. You got a 5-head. And he's like, yeah.
It's great. Get a 5-head. It's just fucked up and wrong, and I love it.
He does, though.
This man does have a big forehead.
He's got a big forehead. And I saw Unicorn before Justified. So it was kind of weird for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the whole Dexter,
well, I mean, he was the tranny
6 feet under.
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, I didn't recognize him from that. Yeah, because he was dressed different.
Yeah. Tranny's probably wrong too. Again, you're not hurting anybody. I don't care. I'm cool with it. Go with God.
Yeah, go with God. Yeah. No, that's pretty. No, I do like him. But yeah. So it's worth watching Mandalorian if you like Justified, because apparently it turned into Justified this season.
Nice. No, I will. I'm telling you, I will get them. Well, right now there's no point in starting Mandalorian anyway because one, we're recording anyway, or we got the streaming option, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. And if they're mid-season, I'm telling you, I do not want to watch anything. Yeah. Like, I don't even like watching shows that are still in production. Yeah. I just want them to be done so I can just sit and binge
the whole thing. That's why I think Fargo is a better choice, because one, I'm not sure how much Mick would like Mandalorian. I mean, if she can forgive space. Oh, you said she likes science fiction.
She likes sci-fi.
She might be okay with it.
She's good with kung fu.
Oh, so this is basically Kung Fu in space.
Oh, Kung Fu is, who's not good with Kung Fu?
Yeah, I mean, every episode, the first, couple episodes, it shows up where somebody tries to kick his ass, and they can't. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, he's like...
I'm not kidding, man. Like, the Kill Bill, the Cruel Tutelage of Pai Mei, the throwback to the... Yeah. That made me think of, the Sunday morning Kung Fu, man. I used to watch that shit, and, with the bad sinking and all that.
You must die.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I grew up watching all that stuff.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, I love Bruce Lee, and I sell all of his entire catalog.
Yeah, I love all of them. So, those were, I still like them. Yeah. So I'm sure I'll love that.
I don't think I've seen enough Jet Li movies. It looked like he's been done a lot of good things, and I haven't seen them all.
He's good. There's one I particularly, I about didn't like it, but the fighting was so good. All I can think is the dude from Roger Rabbit had him on a chain. So I want to say it's like Jet Li Unchained or something. Oh. And but it's just basically typical Jet Li. Like, he's just kicking shit out of everybody, and he's great because it's just every story is the David and Goliath. Yeah, not a big guy, but meanwhile they kick your ass 7 ways to Sunday, and it's just great.
Well, unless he fought Chuck Norris.
Well, that's the thing though. Chuck Norris is the real deal. Like, he will kick the shit out of you to this day.
Yeah. They actually say he probably would have kicked Bruce Lee's ass, but it was Bruce Lee's movie.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I wonder though. I've seen. There's not a ton of footage of Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee seemingly did, like him playing ping pong with nunchucks. I just.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen that. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen that, but I can imagine.
I'll put it this way. I'm not kidding when I say he would hit it more often than you would with a paddle in each hand.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look possible.
Yeah.
And just shit like that. It makes me wonder, but yeah, like you take all of your major martial arts guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them actually fought did the circuits.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris did.
He did. He actually has a real black belt and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
He earned that bad boy.
Yep. So gotta respect that.
Yeah,
you know, it's funny. I don't watch it very often, although I do read the clips and I look at the good knockouts. But I'm not a boxing fan. Never have been.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me because Ultimate Fighting makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You want to go beat the shit out of each other? Go beat the shit out of each
Yeah.
other. Oh, the rules are there really aren't any rules. If they tap out, that's a good rule.
Yeah.
Let them, stop beating them when they tap out.
Right.
Have a ref available for when they get knocked out. Other than that, the rules are go beat the shit out of each other. And that seems to be what UFC is, and I dig that a great deal. And I understand it's violence, and I recognize there are female fighters, but I have to say, and I can only speak from the male perspective for obvious reasons, I recognize that some males have the warrior spirit.
Yeah.
And for the record, I'm not neglecting the ladies. Perhaps they do as well. But they want to fight. Like, that's a thing. And it doesn't mean they want to hurt people necessarily. It doesn't mean they're evil in any way. It just means, let's face it, we've fought more than not as a species, so they still have that in them.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of respect for fighters in that regard. But if you're fighting somebody in the street, there's no rules of, you can't hit them here or you can't use your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally think an Ultimate Fighter is going to beat the shit out of a boxer every time, and the boxer's going to be like, well, you can't do that. And they're going to be like, yeah, well, I just did.
Yeah.
And have you tasted my knee?
Yeah. I wonder how Mike Tyson would have done.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, though. I don't know if you can use Tyson as an example.
Yeah, because I saw a video, just happened to show my feed the other day. This is Mike Tyson in his prime, and they showed him boxing a guy. And I didn't really watch boxing my entire life. I really haven't, except for Rocky. I'm not sure that counts.
I think Tyson's part of the reason I don't like boxing.
Yeah, so I was watching it, and this guy, and I didn't know which one was Tyson because they're both young. So this one guy was beating on this other guy, just beating on him, and just punch after punch after punch, and the other guy was just taking it. And then one punch.
Yep.
Down. I was like, that guy's not human. And that was Mike Tyson. I was like, this guy's not human.
The first boxing match I saw was a Mike Tyson fight. I think it was 40 seconds. It was basically they rang a bell, Mike Tyson walked across the room, punched a dude in the face, and that dude crumpled and ceased to be. You actually saw his soul leave his body. That's how hard he fucking hit him.
He could hit somebody into yesterday.
It was like that Doctor Strange scene.
Yeah. Or
no tomorrow. Where Tilda Swinton there hits Doctor Strange and he goes out. I actually saw that shit happen. That's how hard he hit that man.
Jesus. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I'm like, oh my God. He was like, he was taking all these punches and it wasn't even bothering him, and he just one hit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he big roundhouse. It was just like punch, done. It was like down.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson hits you and your fucking dog dies. I mean, like, that's how hard that man hits.
It's like, God damn. I wish I would have liked boxing back then when he was in his prime.
But see, I think that was part of the reason I didn't like it, because I'm just like, well, I literally remember I had a big bowl of popcorn. I sat down. I'm all like, oh, it's going to be fun. And I'm like, okay. I can barely eat my popcorn.
I guess I'm watching NASCAR.
That definitely was not the case. Seriously. Oh, wow, they're going left again.
Yeah.
Yeah. NASCAR, boy. I got a whole nother sect of people.
We already lost all the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
We lost them all together already. Because trust me, they stopped already.
Oh, you don't think the DNC and the NASCAR have a lot to do with each other?
No.
It's awesome. Wow. Let's save that one for another day, because that's fun. So, did we?
Yeah. So I recommend Fargo. Is what I'm trying to say.
Are you watching anything other than Fargo?
Fargo and Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful. Sorry.
Oh, and okay. So I need something. Although Fargo is not bad. It's not like watching. What's that show that really Ozark.
Oh yeah, where it's just so heavy and
Yeah,
dark.
so
and,
it's dark-ish. It's dark humor-ish. So that's not horrible. But I needed to watch something lighter for like the last half an hour of the evening.
Yeah.
So I went back to a show that you probably have never seen and probably never will, called Drew Carey Show, and I just I think
okay.
it's hilarious.
I'm familiar with it. I never watched it. And you're right. I'll never go back and watch
You'll
it.
never watch it, but yeah, because it's not even it's so grainy and old at this point, and not even in widescreen. But it's hilarious because the very first episode, because I haven't seen it in years, so I turn on the very first episode, and he goes, Drew Carey's hilarious. He actually is hilarious, and he's like, "Oh, drive-through liquor stores for the drunk on the go."
That's right.
And I'm like,
exactly.
and I'm like, it's about Ohio, and I'm like, that is really funny to me because I thought it was hilarious when I was living there. I'm like, why is there freaking liquor stores that you drive through?
I've been to a drive-through liquor store.
Why? Why do they exist?
I went to it because it existed.
Yeah, it's and where I'm from,
I thought it was weird too.
they're all over the place. I mean, drive-through, but it's not just you can get more than liquor there. You can actually get milk and bread and all that stuff too. So it's like a convenience store, liquor store.
If I recall correctly, ours, it looked like the one we went to was almost like a car wash. In the sense
Yeah,
that you
you're-
drive in, but you're kind of like coolers on each side.
Yeah,
and you
you're
just
lower.
Told somebody what you wanted.
Yeah, you're kind of lower when you go into it, and you got like almost at your window levels of cement, and you can see the coolers above you, kind of.
So
and you pick out what you want, and then they load in your trunk. And
yeah, it's weird.
you go, drink it up. So that's what I'm used to growing up. But hearing a joke about it, and I haven't heard about it in years, I'm like, this is hilarious. So he seems to go out of his way to set up situations in the show and jokes that if you're from Ohio, you'll get more.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm watching. I'm like, this is more. I can see why the show didn't. I mean, it lasted for like 7-8 seasons, but the last season's ratings were terrible. So they actually produced all the episodes out of order, so it didn't make any sense. So you have to find guides of how to watch the last season because it's completely out of order.
That's annoying.
Yeah, completely. So
Why?
you have to because they can care less. They said they were required to show them, and they just showed them whatever they can give a crap.
That's just piss poor, but whatever.
That's one of the reasons Drew Carey stopped doing TV shows. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he went, The Price is Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with TV. That was kind of mean of them.
Yeah, I have to admit, I've not watched The Price is Right since he's been host.
He's all right. I mean, he still talks about spay and neuter your pets at the end of the
Awesome.
episode.
He should.
He still
That's
does that.
I presume Rod Rowdy's. Rod Roddy? Rowdy? I don't even know how to say Roddy. Rod Roddy. That was his name. Come on down.
Come on down?
Yeah, the
Oh, the guy
I
with the
presume
announcer.
He's
Yeah.
either long since dead or retired.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But I used to watch Price is Right all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny. We were just talking about this actually.
I did. I used to watch it. Yeah.
Price is Right rules still apply for me. They will the rest of my days, in fact. So
Yeah.
whenever you're guessing how much something costs, it is always the closest without overbidding.
Without overbidding. Yeah.
These are the rules. I didn't make them.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to the Showcase Showdown,
Come on
that's how it's going to be.
Come on down. Yeah.
The closest without overbidding.
Yeah. God. And then R.I.P. Alex
Yeah,
Trebek.
we didn't talk about Alex Trebek, but boy,
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but
Yeah.
I send inappropriate texts when somebody famous die because
And I rarely get one on time.
normally I learn first, and let's face it, if we haven't caught the theme in the last few episodes, I'm inappropriate.
Yes.
And I just love the way we communicate now.
I know.
So I just get a text, and may I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so good. I get a text, and it was a bummer because R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Seriously, what an amazing individual.
Oh, irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you got to give him props for the way he, wow, terminal cancer. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
That's the greatest. But I get a text that simply reads, "Who was Alex Trebek?"
Not bad.
And I laughed because I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. And I even said, that's a bummer as I laughed.
Yeah.
And
That's a bummer.
I turned to Mickles and I said, Alex Trebek, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. You know exactly what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Instantaneously, who was Alex Trebek? And I was saddened, both that Alex Trebek was gone and that you just such a good one.
Such a good one. It's rare, actually. Usually you get it before me, or sometimes you've done it where Charlize and I are discussing what it should be. And I'm like, oh, you beat us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're in discussions. So it's a little game that we have now.
Oh, so was that you or was that Charlize?
That was me.
Okay.
That was me. Charlize had a different one.
That was really good.
Yes. Charlize, what was her? Charlize, let me look it up. She had her own.
That was a really good one, though. Who was Alex Trebek?
Who was?
I even heard a little bit of the music in the background.
Yeah.
Just wow. But seriously, I mean, what an amazing individual, and truly a loss for all of us.
Oh, so hers was, I guess this concludes Final Jeopardy.
Okay, yeah.
That was hers.
Yeah.
But
I meant final.
Final Jeopardy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And just to be clear too, I know there's something terribly wrong with me. I've just come to embrace it, to be honest.
Yes.
But it's not that I'm any less saddened by the news. I mean, truly, that was a great man. It was what an amazing life, and it is nothing less than a tragedy. What a bummer. But I guess my viewpoint on it is simply this: I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm alive. And it is a bummer that he isn't, but I'm going to celebrate every fucking second of this. And, I know it's inappropriate, but there's no real malintent.
No.
It's simply, let's find a comedic way to share really shitty news.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tarnish the loss or the love we have for somebody like Alex Trebek or any of the other ones that I've pretty much mocked,
Yeah.
Bowie, what a fucking loss.
Oh, yeah.
But you remember I said I'm going to put on my red shoes and dance the blues.
Well, yeah, that made me sad. I don't. Of all the ones that's gone, especially recently, he's the one that actually got some tears in my eyes because, he's meant a lot to my childhood, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, goddamn, I can get that. Did we talk about I think we did the Kamala speech there. Am I saying that right? I like to think I am.
Oh, Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Did we talk about that?
I don't think we talked about her speech.
Oh, okay. So,
I watched all the stuff.
I think I told you this already, didn't I? Or maybe
I don't know
didn't.
if you did. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't
this
know
will
what
make
you
you happy.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about it on the show before. So not a macho thing, but I'm telling you, I don't cry very often.
No.
Just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's not a macho thing. It's not. I'm not like, oh, I'm so tough. It just doesn't happen. I think it's because I cried so much as a kid. I got it out of my system. I fucking cried, dude. When Kamala Harris was giving her speech about to introduce Joe Biden as president-elect, I cried.
Oh.
And it's funny, too, because I had a couple tears down my face, and I'm like, I wonder if Mikkel's crying. I look over, she's fucking bawling.
It was powerful. I will give it that. It was a good moment. I think I was verklempt. I don't think I was crying, but I think I was verklempt.
Wow, you didn't even cry. Wow, I cried.
I didn't cry, but
tears.
yeah, tears.
I can tell you, too, exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was about 10% pride.
Yeah.
10% pride in the fact that we have a female vice president. And Kamala's great because she's like every minority. Like, what is she? She's everything.
Yeah.
You name it. She's
Indian.
it. Yeah, just whatever. Yeah, I got it. I got to represent
she's got it. Yeah.
So we've got a minority woman vice president. Holy shit, you're giving me hope, America. You're giving me hope that we can see past our just ignorance. And so it was 10% pride that we have evolved. We have arrived. We have reached this point that we can actually almost be mistaken for acting in a wise way.
Yeah.
And
well,
then
75 million of us can.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
Yeah, more than halfway there. If you ask
More
me.
than halfway there, yeah. The other 90% of the reason is simply relief.
Oh, I did feel relief, yeah.
It's funny, you don't know when.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I can hold my breath. I thought, being a smoker, it was somewhere around the 20-second mark, but apparently it's at like 4+ years.
Yeah.
Because when I started breathing again, it really felt good.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I did get a little bit of relief, but I still don't. I'm not 100%. I still stress because I feel like we're watching a horror movie right now, and there's 20 minutes left in the movie, and that monster got killed. So So that's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, the movie's over, but you're like, what's this 20 minutes for?
Yeah, what's left? That's what's going through my mind
agree.
now. I cannot wait for the 20th of January.
I don't want to protest. I don't want violence. I don't want any of that. But yes, the GOP decides, okay, Trump won. I'm the first one to tell you I'll be fucking out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to like it. It's not going to be cool. But I'm not going to. Honestly, I can't stand by why at least half the country just pisses on our democracy. I just can't do it. It's honestly, I hope we learn as a nation to get rid of the Electoral College. Democracy is a simple matter of math. I don't give a fuck where you live.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a matter of the masses.
it's supposed to be for the people, by the people, and
It's real simple.
And
Yeah.
they shouldn't be they're trying to decide who's our leader themselves, and we're the ones supposed to decide it,
Absolutely.
not them.
Exactly.
And they're like, no, we get to decide.
Well, that's what I mean too.
I don't like that.
And I know we're back to this, but it's top of mind, obviously.
Yeah.
The same people that call themselves patriots are the ones that are making his argument.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you call yourself a patriot when you are literally doing your best to destroy democracy? Thank God you're a fucking moron and you suck at it.
Yeah.
But that does not give me solace. No. I don't take comfort in the fact that the only reason you have to destroy this country is because you're so fucking stupid. You're actively trying to destroy this country. And again, about 48% of the country thinks that's a great idea. And it's the same 48% that would tell you they're far more patriotic than you are.
Yep. Yeah, just because he hugs and kisses a flag doesn't make you a patriot.
Honestly, the stupid is so strong these days, it's killing me.
Yeah.
It's absolutely killing me. And the worst part is, guys, I'm not claiming to be smart. I'll be the first one to tell you. I will say this, though. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yeah, I know that one. It's true. That's why we always have jobs.
It's just such a bummer, though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So I understand. I understand the sentiment of, because I would say I was happy. I was smiling. I was like, yes, this is. Joe Biden jogged out there, you know. I'm like, Joe Biden.
SNL, man.
Yeah,
fucking 4 years of Joe Biden.
God, I love it. SNL was, I don't know, Dave Chappelle too.
Oh my God.
Oh, was he?
See the Count Chocula?
That actually that was awesome.
So fucking good.
But I almost cried from Dave Chappelle's monologue.
Oh yeah.
It was powerful.
Yeah, it was good.
And I was speaking with a lady online, not online, but on a Zoom meeting. She is helping us with our ticketing system. And she lives in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. And she was telling us a story, and she was one of the ones that didn't mind. She thought it was hilarious when I put my wallpaper as the Four Season landscaping company. So I could tell, just because you're from Ohio doesn't mean you're a complete bigot. But most of the Ohio is, apparently.
That's fantastic.
but she said that she got in her little Prius. She drove in the bumpiest roads, and she would go listen to Dave Chappelle because that's where his bunker is. Okay. So that's where she really enjoyed his shows and would go listen to him prepare for his material. Even though it's true what he said, she goes, yeah, the whole people were mad because he was too loud. Yeah. So everything he said in the monologue is true. He's not making that crap up. People are stupid.
They are.
They are.
Hurts.
Yeah. And so I think I like Saturday Night Live. I like them. They seem to be, and I think they've gone away from it in the past few years, and I think they're on their way back at being a little bit offensive because they need to be. They need to be on the edge and going just over the line. I hate it when they all, don't. That's not the point of comedy.
It's exactly what I was thinking. One of the necessities to be a good comic is you need to push that envelope.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds so stupid, but stand-up comics are honestly one of the biggest driving forces in society becoming enlightened, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they say things that people, well, one, we get to laugh at them.
Yeah.
And these are my type of, like Carlin comes to mind, man.
Yeah.
George Carlin's so fucking good because he was hysterical, but then you think about it and you're like, God damn. Because the man was truly witty. You think about what he had to say and what you're laughing about, and you realize, wait, actually, he's kind of got a point there, too.
Yep.
And that's true wit. That's true humor to me. And that is been happening. I mean, I think about like Richard Pryor and just some of the earlier comics pushing the envelope. And in their day, I mean, literally the police were called because it was so offensive. Yep. And now it's just par for the course, but we as a society have learned something.
Yeah.
You know? And, honestly, we've gone so fucking PC. People need to fucking man up, and excuse the expression, but you need to grow a pair and stop acting like such a whiny jerk. I heard a comedian talk once about the fact that, when I grew up, people used to be offended, and we'd say, okay, you're offended. Yeah. And that was that.
Yeah.
It's okay to be offended.
Yeah.
If something I say offends you, that's okay.
Yeah, you're allowed to be offended.
You know what?
Yeah.
And if you want, www.tootcast.net, you can write us a letter.
Yeah.
But you know what? The fact that I offend you does not mean I need to do anything. You can stop listening. Yeah. You can write us. You can tell us how you feel. Try to change my views. That'd be great.
Yeah.
You can do something else altogether. But the fact that you're offended doesn't mean there's anything wrong with my behavior.
Yeah.
And that's what we seem to have forgotten as a society.
Yeah.
You know, it's maddening.
Yeah, just because I offend you doesn't mean I have to change what I do.
Yeah.
You know.
I go all suicidal tendencies, and, you know, if I offended you, I'm sorry, but maybe you needed to be offended. And here's my apology. Oh, and one more thing. Fuck you. Because that's, you can't bring me down, suicidal tendencies. I love that line.
Yep.
But, I mean, that's basically the gist of it. You know, I am sorry, but maybe you did need to be offended.
Yeah. So that's when I think Saturday Night Live is on its firing its cylinders. When I'm like, oh, that was wrong. Goddamn, finally.
Yep.
You know, they went too far. You know.
Yeah, they push that envelope, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong too. That's the thing. You gotta find that sweet spot. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's good, and I agree. The riskier stuff is better.
Yeah. So they've been better. Like, they went a couple years where I'm like, meh. You know, the show wasn't really doing anything. Now they're cutting a little bit, and I like that. That's the way it should be.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, because it's more than just laughs.
Yeah,
we're actually learning, even though we don't necessarily realize it.
Yeah, and they've had in the past, Saturday Night Live has swayed elections based on how they make fun of. You know, they said that's what happened to Ford with Chevy Chase.
I'd just like to say, America, you fucked up. If we all had voted Bernie, yes, we'd all be socialists. But 4 years of Larry David on SNL. That's all I got to say. You went and fucked that up.
I know. I feel the burn.
Goddamn. I kept saying that too. Vote Bernie, if only because of Larry David. That would have been so good.
That would have been awesome. Yeah.
That's great. So, watch anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I've got one. We're not done with it yet, but you might want to check it out. And this is largely why I haven't been playing anything either. Some shows are actually, some shows actually require your attention.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you actually have to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And if they're good, they're actually worthy of it. And we're watching a show right now on, I think it's on Amazon. It's called The Feed. And it is as sci-fi as they get. It is basically, I think, you want to talk about freaking nobody survives a bullet wound to the stomach. I had a theory as to what the story was. Way early on. And I said it to Mick. And then as the story unfolded, I came up with another theory.
Oh.
And I said that one. And as the story unfolds, I'm pretty confident now that both of my theories are actually correct.
Oh.
That's how crazy it is. But yeah, that is the one. You know, are you going to get did we just fucking get sued?
No, as long as I don't play videos.
All right.
Text is fine, and I haven't put it up yet.
So, I don't know why they wouldn't like this anyway. It's like we're advertising for them. But yeah, don't click play, whatever you do.
You can do 0.2 seconds.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rules are.
Exactly.
And I can play it as long as I put an overlay on it later in that. But I'd rather not.
I don't know. Actually, does this tell you if the show is canceled or like done?
No, it says 2019
through.
Dash.
Okay, cool.
That means it's not over yet.
Because this is, I will say, it's one of those shows right now that if they fuck it all up at the end, they could invalidate everything they've built thus far. But that being said, I will say it's good enough to where even if that happens, it's worth the journey. And the basic premise is the feed is the evolution of social media. So instead of your cell phone, it's in your head.
Yeah.
And there's just a ton of fun shit you can do with that. So like imagine calling people while we're talking, but the person I'm talking to on the phone right now, I'm not actually using my voice, but I'm talking to them just the same. Because the cell phone's in my head, it's in their head, you know, and I'm using some basic telepathy to have that second conversation. And that's the basic premise. That's kind of their playground. And then from there they come up with stories. But definitely digging it, and I think you would too, just because you're a nerd and you like sci-fi, and it's got good production. Like it looks pretty cool. So I think you dig it. I'll say that. I'll keep you posted on that, but I'm definitely loving that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna make it through Fargo and Ozark. I still need to make it through that.
Yeah, you got to be close though. You were in season 2, I think. Right?
Of Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fargo, man, I'm just eating that show up.
Good for you. Yeah, we're doing the same with the feed. Actually, I think the feed was only 10 episodes. I think we only have 2 left. In fact, I know we only have 2 left. We're saving them.
I haven't seen him in it yet.
Chris Rock, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in Fargo yet. I think he's in season 4.
Sorry about that, folks. I had to cough. Well, my friend, what have you been listening to?
Oh, listening.
Yeah.
That is okay. me pull up my list.
Wow.
No, it's just because I can't. I'm not like you.
Oh,
I don't remember titles of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not all that great though either. I mean, I realize with some of these bands like the Enya and even the Regina Spektor, I'm like, yeah, I like them. I have no idea what their songs are. Because some bands you just throw an album in.
Yeah.
You know?
So I don't know what it was. I think I was watching YouTube, and that's what usually gets me down the rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, oh, this is good, but I don't know this person that well. So let me dig in deeper, because I know with this modern music, when I say modern, like 90s.
Okay.
So I started digging deep, and I started listening, and you know what? I've come to the conclusion that this man is a genius and a songwriter, and his name is Rod Stewart. And I started listening to his older stuff. I mean, his old stuff.
Maggie May. Small Faces.
The First Cut is the Deepest. Tonight's the Night. That's the newer stuff. I don't want to talk about it. Watch the YouTube video with us featuring Amy Bell. Oh, it's just awesome. Highly, highly recommend it. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm trying to think of... all I can think is I don't want you to come around here no more. I beg you for mercy.
Yeah, I know he says...
I'll get there.
What, the lyrics of that one? I know he says that my heart is blue and the sky's black. I forget what he says. There's a whole thing in there.
When the one you love's in love with someone else, I think is the name of the song.
Oh.
And it's a fucking another great. Well, and you know Broken Arrow, which is a Robbie Robertson song.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Rod Stewart's version does it for me. But yeah, mad props.
Yeah, and one of these songs, I forget which one, is a cover of a Dylan song. Is it Tomorrow's a Long Time? I forget. One of them was a Dylan cover.
Huh. I'll have to listen to it. I mean, I'll certainly give him a try, but...
but his old stuff, like Rhythm of My Heart, this whole old Heart of Mine. But then you start going to older stuff, Mandolin Wind, Farewell. I'm talking old
I love
Rod.
Well, I think it's Small Faces. Their hit was I Wish That I Knew What I Knew Now when I was younger.
Yeah.
But it's Rod Stewart. Because I'd ask myself one day, I'm like, where the fuck did Rod Stewart come from?
Yeah.
Like, how did we know the name Rod Stewart?
Stewart.
Because, I'm sorry, you don't just wake up one day and be a Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, he came from somewhere.
You got it. Yeah, you came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And so Small Faces, I believe. It might just be Faces.
Yeah.
Or it might have been one of those bands like Airplane where depending on the members, they changed their name. But Rod Stewart came from that.
Oh, okay. Rhythm of My Heart, Downtown Train.
Rod Stewart didn't write Downtown Train. Let's cover.
Yeah, so I actually discovered
I'll give you $1
few
if you
people.
Tell me who wrote that.
Downtown Train. Is it a R&B guy or?
No, it's Tom Waits.
Wow.
And so when you hear his, it is...
I don't know if I can listen to Tom Waits that much. He's kind of got a rough voice.
Oh, my God, does he? So, when you hear Downtown Train, it sounds about nothing.
Yeah. Jeez.
Like Rod Stewart sings it, and then Tom Waits
growls it.
Whatever he does, yeah.
And I love Tom Waits, though.
I dig him entirely.
I do love the guy.
Mad props to Tom Waits. But, it is like you just gargled glass.
Yeah.
And then you decided to sing Downtown Train, and that you're somewhere in the neighborhood.
And I don't know if it's the album version of Maggie May, but the album version I think I was listening to on YouTube has this whole intro of just a guitar, and I'm like, this is my stuff.
That's a great song. I mean, I've heard it a trillion times, but
I feel it. I feel it.
Oh, I love it.
And I like when I listen to songs, I see things. I see what he's talking about. I feel what he's singing about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to more Rod Stewart because especially his older stuff because it's just kind of like fun and deep and like the song Farewell. They said it's the Maggie May, but that didn't get played on the radio ever.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like that good quality.
Oh yeah.
But never hit the radio.
Rod Stewart's. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I'm probably familiar with like 10% of his catalog, but the dude's a talent. There's no question.
So I really got into him, and I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. So
do you think I was going to bust your balls over Rod
a
Stewart?
little bit there because it's a little bit lame to listen to Rod Stewart sometimes. But
I don't think you're gonna.
But
he doesn't fall into the death metal category. That's for sure.
I had fun listening to him. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I actually,
dude, I listen to so much crap. So much. Like, you wouldn't believe how bad it is.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart's not even close to as bad as you could get. And for the record, even if I didn't like Rod Stewart, which I do, amazing talent, he'd still be better than Nickelback.
Yeah. Yeah, Nickelback. I actually deleted Nickelback off my library.
Wow.
I mean, because I had ripped disc and stuff.
Fuck
deleted.
Those
guys. Yeah. Once I learned more about them, and I'm like, it's one thing being a bad but one purposely being offensive toward women and stuff. I'm like, yeah, no, there were. Well, it didn't hurt to delete it, really.
No.
It didn't hurt.
You're a better man for it. You looked better.
Yeah,
when I saw you today, you looked better.
I was like, so I'm just deleting it all. No more Nickelback.
Did you remove Nickelback from your life? You look healthier.
I did. I removed Nickelback from my life completely. No more Nickelback.
That's awesome. Well, good for you, though, on Rod Stewart. That's, no, I'm not, it's funny. I'm telling you, dude, don't worry about what I'm going to make fun of you about, because I'm going to make fun of you no matter what.
You are.
And if you don't give me a reason, I'm simply going to make it up.
But
Rod Stewart's great. Amazing talent.
And I already know my mom likes Rod Stewart because we danced to Forever Young at my wedding.
Okay, very nice.
So and she picked that out. So that was
nice.
her. So I think she's seen him in concert.
Very talented. Yeah, definitely dig the Rod Stewart. And every once in a while, that rabbit hole you speak of in YouTube, I've caught videos of street performers encountering real musicians. Yeah. And if they're classy, like one was, I've seen Rod Stewart do it a few times where he just, street performers doing Rod Stewart songs and he comes up and he sings with them. And I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. How fucking cool is that?
That's cool. I think I've seen Sheeran do that before too.
I got to say the best one I've seen though is Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Walks up, dude, singing one crappy Aerosmith song. I don't know what it is. And
Dream On.
Aerosmith.
That's probably a hard song to sing.
That's not a crappy Aerosmith song. I love early Aerosmith, and later Aerosmith is good. I just don't listen to it. It's just like, we expect that from you. Like, your crappy song is still better than some people's best.
Yeah.
But it's not that I dislike Aerosmith. I just don't listen to him.
Yeah.
But he did something that, well, first of all, there's a street performer doing an Aerosmith song, so Steven Tyler sees that and comes over and starts singing with the dude, which... uber classy. Like, right off the rip, your stock just fucking skyrocketed. But then he did something that just, it gives me a chill and made me so happy. But the singer-guitarist dude who was on the street basically just kind of pushed the mic to Steven Tyler. Like, dude, I'm just the street performer. You're fucking the front man for Aerosmith. So if you want to sing, here's your mic. And somehow he kept the wherewithal to keep playing the damn song, which in of itself, because you got to consider by now he's pissing his pants, like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening. So good on that guitarist. But Steven Tyler at some point realizes, wait, I'm the only one with the mic. So he grabs the guy basically and kind of does the whole let's sing together thing. And I'm like, dude, that is so freaking classy. Yeah. I dig that so much. Because, it doesn't matter if that dude, like, the next day got the biggest record contract, became the biggest musician that ever was. On his deathbed 1,000 years from now, he'd be like, one time I was playing on the street and you'd never believe this shit.
Yes. Well, didn't something like that happen to you with
Robert Plant?
Yeah, Robert Plant.
Yeah, where to this day he's like, I met some handicapped kid who just couldn't say his own name, couldn't form complete sentences.
Well, that's how he learned how to play some of the songs. It's
awesome.
Some of the songs don't make sense. I'm saying.
That's great. But good for you, man. That's not a bad
Actually,
one.
I've been a fan of Aerosmith ever since they were on Wayne's World. I think that's when I started liking them.
Sense.
Because that was pretty awesome.
You do have that TV affiliation there.
Yes. So when they hung out Wayne's World, I was like, oh, they're kind of cool.
So how'd you stumble upon Rod Stewart, or just the rabbit hole?
It was just rabbit hole somehow. Okay. Just in fact, I think a lot of the music I find is some that channel Andy and Andy who they just play random songs, and I'm like, oh, they had Maggie May.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me listen to Maggie May.
It's funny, every time you say Maggie May, I literally hear the drum and then the wake up Maggie May. It just starts over again.
Yeah. I need to pack my school bags or go back to school. I don't know. It was such a good song. Basically, she was definitely using him, and he wish he never met her, but he still loves her.
Oh, of course he does.
It's great song. Great song. So then I was like, let me listen to more. So that's what happened. I started with that. I'm like, I'm going to listen to everything I can find and see which one I like. And I'm sure I haven't hit every song I probably would like. That was just a small list of ones I'm like.
Dude, he's got a lot of stuff.
I purposely started digging through the older stuff because I knew some of the stuff like Downtown Train and Forever Young, and I knew that stuff very well, but I didn't know the older stuff. And I'm like,
do you know the song that I was talking about before? With I wish I knew what I knew now when I was younger.
Might just sing a couple bars.
When I was younger, no, it's not going to happen. That was good, though. I'm going to... for the record, dude, I have done, and this is a real reason not to listen to the show. I've done far more singing on this show than I ever thought I would. Yeah. Which is entirely too much.
Likewise, I know. When I sing Charlie, I used to wish I could sing. Now I wish you could sing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your wife is witty as fuck, man.
She's mean to me.
She is, but
I'm gonna
goddamn,
be
that's,
really
that's
shit.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't sing worth a shit. And I honestly, this is funny because if the gods are good to you, you'll never see this.
Yeah.
Dancing, not a dancer.
Yeah.
I believe it's extremely important for humans to dance. I believe, and I'm not even being funny right now, I believe it's extremely important for humans to sing.
Yeah.
I believe these are things that are part of our, I think it goes far beyond ritual. I think it's just part of our being, and I think it's good for our soul.
Yeah.
So, I can't sing worth a fuck. I sing constantly.
Yeah. I sing too. I just remember when Biden was giving a speech, he was saying there's time in every life, or,
Oh, that's funny.
And I immediately, I'm like,
yeah, I did too. I think.
Footloose.
Oh, that's great. See, I was going.
Now I gotta dance, I said.
I was going with the turtles, like the time to,
Yeah.
it's actually a biblical verse, but
easy
Ecclesiastes,
whatever, the E word.
I know what you're talking about too, but I can't.
It's from the Bible.
Ecclesiastics? No.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes.
I don't know what it is.
The E-Bible.
I'm a fucking pagan.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well,
you know what I think of when I hear the word pagan too? You ever see the movie Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
It wasn't that good, but
No.
they fought the group pagan, which was people against good and normalcy.
That's pretty good, actually.
So I think about pagan. Whenever I hear the word pagan, I think, oh, people against good and normalcy.
Yeah. Jesus.
That's great.
Wow. Yeah, so that's what I'm listening to. What are you listening to?
Yeah, actually, you know what I've been listening to? I will tell you, because I haven't really been listening to much, other than a car ride, which I will talk about. But I did, today I was working on spreadsheets, and I listened to this podcast I love. It's called The One Other Thing.
You should check it out.
You really should. I enjoyed it, and I have to say last week's episode did not offend me.
Yeah.
But I looked at, actually what I did this time was I went to Pandora, and I went to a few of my stations, and I just decided to pick out some randomness. But that being said, under the heading of randomness, I know I've talked about the Lumineers before, big fan, love their stuff. And I know we talked about David Byrne and the Talking Heads, just phenomenal. So you push them both together, this must be the place. I know I've talked about that being a good song, but goddamn, the Lumineers cover it just makes me happy. And I heard it the other day, and it's so fucking good. And just everything about that song. And I particularly love the... at some point he says she lifted up her wings. And I fucking love that line because that's it's like a duck or a swan. That's how they protect their young, is they lift up their wings and they keep them safe. And it's just such a great metaphor, because he's saying, he wants to be home. And, he's basically saying, well, this must be the place. She lifted up her wings. And I'm like, God damn, that's good,
Yeah.
But so I heard that the other day, and even though I've talked about it before, I'm talking about it again. It's a fucking great song. So Lumineers, honestly, Talking Heads too. I mean, either one, but Lumineers is really doing it for me lately. So this must be the place. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, we're going random. So there's this band called The Blow, and this chick is...
Do they blow?
Maybe. This chick's kind of, I believe it's listed as a visual artist. So you take one look at her and you're like, oh, you are artsy-fartsy freaky type. I get you. And it's one of those, like, I think she just plays at a different level than the rest of us.
Different plane of existence.
Kind of, yeah, like almost here, but not quite. And I just find her to be exceptionally talented. I really do. And I would say they're a one-hit wonder for me, but they're not. There's actually 2 songs. So the 2 songs I'm going to recommend are Parentheses and True Affection. I actually like other stuff by this band too, but they're weird. They're really weird. But, definitely check them out. True Affection was the one I heard first that kind of really turned me on to them. But I definitely think that woman's talented, and I'd definitely be willing to check out more of her stuff. I don't know if you know what I mean by the artsy-fartsy, but there's some people on this earth that are just gifted.
Yeah.
And you see it with music a lot, like these prodigies, like... remember the Walk Off the Earth? There were the 5 people that played the guitar to do that. Honestly, it's better than the Gautier version. Somebody I used to know. And
actually, I've actually got down the rabbit hole on their channel. They have a lot of good stuff on there, actually.
The one of the dudes, I want to say the guitarist with the long hair, he's one of those people where, like, if he took this pen and this notebook and that bottle, he could play you a song. He would somehow make that musical. Yeah. It's just like he touches things and they become instruments. He's just one of those. And there's just people like that where They were clearly made to make music or make art, and this woman strikes me as one of those. Like you were made to create. You were a muse, is what you are. You're a fucking muse. So yeah, The Blow. All right, couple more. I got some randomness. I think you know this one. You should.
Yep.
But they only have one hit I know of, although I've heard a couple songs by them and I don't dislike them, but I'm going to call them a one-hit wonder right now at least. And the band's name is Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Did you ever hear them?
No.
Okay, I bet you've heard
I'd remember that.
Actually, I bet you heard the song. The song, their hit is Home. And definitely worth checking out. It's and we'll play it after this. I'm willing to bet you know this song. You've heard this song. But definitely a lot of fun. A lot of it's one of those bands that just has a lot of people. And for some reason, I like really small bands or really big bands. I don't know why. There's something to be said about a three-piece band. Like, that takes a lot of talent. Two-piece is just you're glutton for it. But three-piece, that's hard, and if you're doing good music. Then, like, 4 or 5, that's just, okay, you're a band.
Yeah.
But then you just jump. Like, you get a band with, like, 20 people, I'm interested. I'm like, who are all those people? What is everybody doing? I like this. So Edward Sharpe's and the Magnetic Zeros is one of those. There's a fucking lot of them. So again, under just randomness, got a bunch of randomness today too. Phoenix is a band, and I'll be honest, their last album that I heard was a piece of crap. I didn't like a single thing on it. That being said, their early stuff was really, really good, and if you can get them acoustic in any way, shape, or form, it is super duper good. Keep in mind, everything's better acoustic. Always has been, always will be. So Phoenix, though, a couple songs. Lasso was their hit, or one of their biggest hits. Litzomania was another one. But some of the songs I like, Girlfriend is good. If I Ever Feel Better is good. Armistice is fucking awesome, especially if you can find the acoustic version of that. It is just mind-blowing good. And Long Distance Call. I don't know what you'd call them. I would say they're dancier music, for lack of a better term, which is really weird for me, but they're good. They're good. Some more. This is actually the only other band I have to talk about that's like a band. The others are kind of one-hit wonders, if you will. But I don't think I've ever talked about the Pixies. And
I've heard of them.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me think of the Bloodhound Gang. Cause,
I think they were in Fight Club.
The Pixies, they were? Yeah, there you go. That's how you know them. Yep. Where's My Mind? Yep. That's one of them. Wave of Mutilation is a good song. There are so many good Pixie songs. It's hard to explain, but I once told a coworker, if you listen to the Pixies long enough, you will wake up cool.
You said something like that to me once. You said if I listen to, was it me?
It might be.
I think it was me. Because you said if you listen to Pixies, you'll just become cooler. I think that's what you said to me.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah. So I tried really hard. I don't know if it worked.
If you are not cool and you want to be, listen to the Pixies, because it will work eventually.
Yeah, not yet. I've tried.
They're really good. Frank Black is...
I listened to Pixies for a week straight.
That's great. Yeah, you need like a couple years, buddy. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's did you like them?
Oh yeah, I do like them. I like the alternative kind of. I guess I call them like alternative.
Oh,
rock.
They're definitely alternative.
Yeah. So
and Frank Black's the lead singer, which makes me think of a Bloodhound Gang line that says, "I'm not black like Barry White. No, I'm white like Frank Black."
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. Again, I can mention Pixies songs a lot. There's just so many. So right off the bat, I'm forgetting almost all of the ones I even like. But you should check out the Pixies. I am particularly fond of a song called "Hey" by the Pixies. That's it.
Hey. And
it is just so good. But yeah, boy, I'm trying to think. Dogs Go to Heaven, or This Monkey's Gone to Heaven is what it is. That's another great song. There's so many good songs that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, I stand by that comment. If you're sitting around and you're like, boy, I wish I was cool, listen to the Pixies long enough and you will be. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
I'm trying real hard, Ringo.
That's awesome. I don't know why you wanted to be cool. I don't even know what the fuck cool means.
I don't know either.
But yeah, people have accused me of being cool on occasion, and I don't know what you mean by that.
We have two hats. That makes us cool.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so three more bands to talk about actually. So since I didn't have any classic rock, I thought for anybody that is into classic rock and is of a fan of music of that kind of era, I'd hit you with a one-hit wonder, and the band is Friend and Lover, and the song is "Reach Out of the Darkness." And I'll just say this: if you know already what I'm talking about, go play it anyway, because it's probably been a long ass time since you heard it, and that song is fucking awesome still. It holds up, and I'm telling you, when you hear that bass, you're gonna be like, son of a bitch, he was right. So yeah, Reach Out of the Darkness, good song, Friends and Lovers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and you're into that hippy dippy flower power kind of music, check them out. You could do a lot worse. So definitely love that song. Two other weird ones. I have to explore this band more. But Alabama Shakes is the name of the band, and Always All Right is a song that's actually from the Silver Linings Playbook. And I know that because it just always points it out to me, but I bring that up because of your association with music and movies, so I thought I'd throw that out there. But I keep hearing a song that they did it's like an iTunes live version. You know how bands come into a studio and they do a song? I always dig that because if they sound good, you know they're actually talented.
Yeah, kind of like when they go to NPR, Tiny Studio.
The Tiny
good.
Music Desk. Yeah, you know they have skill.
Yeah.
This this band does a song called "I Found You," and that woman's voice is just so soulful, and it's honestly it's what turned me on, and it's what I call bar music. I don't even know what genre you'd call it, but it's basically if you've ever been in a bar and there's that band in the back playing kind of those standards. Yeah, they're that kind of music. But goddamn, does this woman have a voice on her? And I dig it. I mean, I find them. I have to explore them more. I find them very talented.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think that's the first time that's happened, but I think we'll hear it in the show. But the telemarketer phone is ringing in the background. So
it may or not show up.
Well, either way, I'd like to extend an offer to our listeners out there. So if you would like to save money on your car insurance or your student loans, or you would like a new medical device of some kind, seriously, actually, if you are the person that's buying anything through telemarketers, you're bringing us all down.
Yeah.
If we all stop using them, they will stop calling.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one other band I wanted to mention, and I actually only know 2 songs by this band, but honestly, I just haven't listened to more because I think I'm going to appreciate this band. But the band is called the Wood Brothers, and the song that I first heard is "Luckiest Man," and I freaking love it. Great song. It just talks about basically how you're going to lose, and yet you're the luckiest man. And I like that whole concept. Like, nothing's going to work out the way you want it to, and you're lucky as hell. And you just don't know it. So I do like that. I'm always on that search for perspective. But what makes me know I like this band is there's a song called "Postcards from Hell," which I love. And I know I like this band because every once in a blue moon, I wish it happened more. Every once in a blue moon, I hear a song. And I say, yes, like, what is that? I have to know what that is. Or if I'm listening to Pandora, it is an immediate thumbs up. Like, I don't even know what this is. I dig it so much, I'm saying yes. And Postcards from Hell, I actually heard in a restaurant in New York City. And I pulled out my phone and I Shazammed the damn thing because I'm like, this is so freaking good. What is this? And it turns out it was the Wood Brothers, who I already knew. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. I guess I like these guys. But he's got this guitar riff that it's just so good. It's just so good. So yeah, definitely. Their Wood Brothers are definitely folksy. I think we've established this before, but left to my own devices, I gravitate to folk music.
Yeah.
It's my jam.
Yeah. And I gravitate to Russian Dream Theater. So we're different.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, I found this is fun. To this day, I find things out. I just found something literally right before this show, and I wonder if you're actually a listener and you know anything about this and would love to enlighten me. I would love for you to write us. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say the name Lee Scratch Perry doesn't mean shit to you, does it? Doesn't mean shit to me. I learned it about, 2 hours and 13 minutes ago. Bob Marley, I've talked about Bob before. Yes, is my answer to Bob Marley. Yes, go listen to Bob Marley. He is really good for you. His early stuff, I always had trouble finding it. I had an album called Soul Rebel, which was phenomenal. Great song in of itself, but there was lots of other stuff on there that I definitely dug, like Rainbow Country and just some of his earlier stuff. And on Pandora today, I noticed that it had Soul Rebel, because it's definitely one I thumbs up, but it had it attributed to Lee in quotations, Scratch Perry featuring Bob Marley.
Hmm.
I have no idea who the fuck Lee Scratch Perry is, but now I'm on a mission to learn more about Lee Scratch Perry because I celebrate all Bob, I really do. The only time I ever thought about having children whatsoever was when I saw the onesie that said B is for Bob and it had a picture of Marley. It's the only time I said, okay, that would almost be worth it.
Yeah.
But his early stuff I particularly love, so if I can somehow find Bob Marley that's unknown to me, because I've delved pretty deep into that rabbit hole, but I'm willing to wager there's still a lot of stuff out there I haven't heard. That's almost like Christmas to me. That's a present.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll be checking that as well.
No woman, no cry.
There you go. Exactly. So anyway, we've been rambling for a long fucking time here.
Yes, we're trying to break records.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not trying. It just works out that way. But I would like to give a shout out to Audrey for keeping us afloat here, manner of speaking.
Yeah.
We have heard from a few folks. I think we're behind on some communications, but again, we definitely appreciate everybody writing. One of the things I have seen comments on is we do talk about our writers, the people that write to us.
Yeah.
However, I just want to throw out there, if you're not comfortable with us speaking about you on the show, just let us know that. We won't. That's not a problem. Likewise, if you have something that you want us to talk about or you want to bring up, again, even if you don't want to attribute to you, just let us know that. We won't. You can raise topics without us attributing to them or attributing them to you if you so desire. But likewise, we will give credit where credit's due. So, if you want. If you want all of the listeners out there to know who you are, I mean, if you're okay with this, the fandom and the celebrity, then we'll talk about you.
Yeah. And if you're, interested, you've seen some of our merch, so some people are, you know who you are, you're going to get some merch, automatically.
Yep.
But yeah, if there's anything that you like, we're going to start selling them. And I think right now, this hat is terrible. We're not going to sell it. But that hat that Sean's wearing, that seems to be a favorite. So, and I already had somebody that wants it.
Oh,
so,
wow. Look at that.
So, yeah.
I'm a snob about my hats. I only wear the ones with the clasp in the back. And not for nothing, I have no hair in my head. So,
Yeah, this one is Velcro, and it took me, 10 minutes to get it on before the show.
Yeah.
So it wasn't good.
I was dying because he walks in, he showed my wife first, and my wife takes one, looks at it, says he's not going to ever wear that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I wonder what it is. Why I won't wear it.
Yeah.
And then he showed me a hat with Velcro on the back. I'm like, yep, she's right. I'll never wear that.
No, I didn't mean to get it, but yeah.
Too funny.
But yeah, you're right. This doesn't even show up in the camera that well. So I think the embroidered is better.
Yeah. The one other thing. So, it's good stuff. So, I mean, as always, buddy, I appreciate all your efforts. So,
T-shirts are next.
It's good that we're treading this trail. And, well, one day we'll have merch. So
yeah, we just got to get something that we like and that Sean was willing to put his name on it.
Well, exactly. And you're the same way, even though you play coy. But I just want to make that commitment to the group again.
Yeah.
We're not going to put our name on something that, and by our name, I mean anything pretty much we put Toot on is something we're endorsing. We're not selling snake oil here.
Yeah.
That's not our jam. This is not what we do for a living. Sure. Would I love it to be one day? Absolutely. Is that going to happen? Probably not.
Yeah. I'm the same way when I give presents to people. I'm not going to give anybody a present or sell anything that I wouldn't want myself.
It's funny. I'm surprised you don't know it, but I'm thinking of the John Cusack. I don't want to buy anything that's produced or produce anything that's bought. Or what I'm talking about? I've never
was that High Fidelity or?
No, it was earlier than that. It was the Say Anything.
Gross Say Anything. Okay. That sounded like a High Fidelity kind of statement, though.
But
I do celebrate the John Cusack.
I think I've said that story on the show before, but we were doing Mickles and I were having the whole list of 3 people you can bang conversation, basically. Yeah. And I think at the time hers was like Matthew McConaughey, Johnny Depp, and then I couldn't remember who number 3 was. Yeah. And she said, "Oh, I'll give you a hint. We have all his movies." And I said, "Oh, Harry Potter."
Harry Potter. Oh.
It was John Cusack.
That's awesome.
I knew it wasn't Harry Potter.
Poor Danny Ratcliffe. Yeah.
I just threw that out there.
That is awesome.
I thought it was good.
Jesus.
So, anyway, but. Yeah, again, Audrey, thank you for your support. Everyone else, thank you for writing in. Those I pissed off, I'm sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. Depends what you're pissed about.
If you want to show your anger, subscribe, and that really teaches us, and like on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, sincerely, if you disagree with me, that is cool. I would love to, have an educated conversation and have one of us change our views. But, it's probably not going to happen. Let's be honest.
No, because I did see a chart because there's a Reddit hash slash Reddit feed
Yeah.
that says data is beautiful, and they showed a chart of how much education and who you vote for.
Yeah.
And statistically, if you don't have an education, you vote Trump.
I love it. And actually, were
Yeah.
you just being coy there? Because I actually pride myself on this, and it's a weird thing to pride yourself on.
Yeah.
I can't go so far as to say I'm proud that I do not have any college, because I'm not proud of that fact. I'm proud of the fact that I've had the career that I've had without any college.
Yeah. Well, that's why I tell the wife, too, because, I did go to college, but the college does not exist.
Yeah, you went to
So-
the South Harmon Institute of Technology.
Exactly. So it does not exist. I swear to God, it doesn't exist anymore. You should see what I got to do when I have to get my transcripts. I got to go through like a couple different buyouts to find out who has my transcripts now that I need sometimes for jobs.
Yep.
And I keep telling Charlize, I'm like, I get a good bang for my buck. For what it cost me for that crappy education for 2 years, I'm doing pretty good. I'm okay with it,
Yeah, and I'll say it this way.
And he's doing better than me.
Who's doing better? I'm doing better than you? That's how you look at it. I have a very strong counter argument to that. A very strong argument.
You're not going to say vacation time, are you?
I'm going to say quality of life. Yeah, I mean, obviously we won't get into brass tacks, but yes, I think it's safe to say I make more money than you do.
I don't mind. Okay.
The amount of work I do versus the amount of work you do in a given year, I make less than you do.
Well, yeah.
Considerably less than you do.
Well, yeah. Yeah, possibly.
So it's one of those things that
Yeah.
I understand why you say that, but the game, and let me tell everybody this one, it's hard to see at first. When you're in your 20s, the game is simple. I want somebody to pay me.
Yep.
There definitely comes a point where it's not simply all about money.
Yeah, that's what I chose that for this job. I wanted a better.
I've clipped my wings. I'm not climbing the ladder. Well, I'm not going to say I won't, because honestly, I think I've said that before and been wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm being very selective, and I understand it's stunting my career, but it's not all about money. I take my job very seriously. I'm very passionate about what I do. We talked about it before. I'm balls to the wall or not at all.
Yep.
But
All or nothing kind of thing.
yeah, it's just how I have no choice. It's how I'm wired. But that being said, as much as I care about my career, I take my job seriously. I work to support what's important in my life. Work is not what's important in my life. It's what enables what's important in my life.
Yeah. What, you work to live, you don't live to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So it does not make me a bad employee in any way, shape, or form. I give it my all.
Yeah.
But I never lose sight of why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I will say, I think I do work hard at my job.
No, you do. I bust your balls.
But I don't work as hard as I did when I was a consultant. Because that was around the clock. That was like late nights traveling, and I got as old. So, yeah, this is kind of retirement, I just can focus on building one thing.
You always have that guy yelling at you, too. Like, if it fucking says you're going to be there on your schedule, you better be there.
Oh, yeah. The one other thing is, we don't have enough time.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm sorry, we're out of time. We can't talk about what the one other thing means
not
yet.
Bad.
Sorry. Maybe next episode. We'll talk about it next episode.
Maybe the next episode, the 6-hour episode.
Yeah.
That seems to be what we're going
Yeah, as
for.
long as it doesn't go over 2 hours next episode, we'll talk about it.
That's great. Yeah. Oh, well, we're screwing the pooch on that one. But seriously, we're going to land this plane right now. So, again, one and all, thank you. And can we do it? Let's see. Wish us luck, folks. Here we go.
There's like 5 buttons I have to hit.
Like, seriously, like a few of you fans should get together and just start doing an over-under on how much are they going to fuck up the outro?
Yeah. Look, I got to get the buttons right. Okay, so subscribe, please. Patreon if you want. You don't have to. I got one person.
Wow, you did your pointing right too. I'm impressed by that. Yeah, that was. I would have.
Yeah, which way? It's backwards.
I want to tell you guys what I was doing before we started.
Okay, so.
Well, no, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know you're
trying to position myself
Yeah,
right
yeah.
and not understanding basic physics.
Am I in the frame now? I said, am I coming in clear?
Well, I guess I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
So.
Ready?
Oh,
We're doing this.
Everyone was ready 20
Okay,
minutes ago.
we're ready. All right.
And this is Sean.
And this is Kevin.
And that's the one other thing.
Good night.